What is no? Just kidding. Not doing any of that right now. None of that. No dancing, no music, no nothing. What's up? It's Rico. It's Bot on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel live postgame. Bills dropped their first game of the season to fall to 4-1 Sunday Night Football. Their first home loss in, I think, what was it? What is it, Rico? A millennium? 14 consecutive home wins comes to an end tonight as the Buffalo Bills lose 23-20 to the New England Patriots, a team that they were a 7.5-point favorite against. They allow a quarterback in Drake May making his 17th start, meaning he hasn't even played a full season's worth of football yet, to come into Buffalo and allow former Buffalo Bills Stefon Diggs to look like Jerry Rice. And that offensive performance, in conjunction with 3 turnovers for the Buffalo Bills, the inability to score points, the inability to run the football, the inability to get a stop towards the end of the game, results in a loss. We got a lot to talk about this evening. Unfortunately, way too much to talk about at 12:09 a.m. Eastern off this loss. We thought maybe we'd hop on here after this game and be dancing, having a good time, and let everybody get to bed. No, sir, no, ma'am. Not tonight. We're talking about an L, and it's the Buffalo Bills first. Rico, talk to me, because you know what's funny about this one? It's not like this was, whoa, Patriots stole this one. No, the Patriots pretty much outplayed the Buffalo Bills for 60 minutes of football. They deserved to win this game, and they won it in the end. And the Bills had every opportunity in the world to reverse the fate of this game. They didn't. They lose. Where are you at right now as the Bills fall to 4-1?
I'm more in the frustration that everybody else is feeling right now, and I think most folks should feel frustrated with the display of football we had today. It was one of those things where it's like we weren't disciplined. I think we were more enamored with the stadium being white out, the cute little uniforms we were wearing. Like, did you forget we had a ball game to play? Did you forget we got a Stefon Diggs that is wild and ready to get wild on you? Did you forget that this guy was ready to get your ass? Did you forget? Did you forget that he came to play ball? You see this? He was hungry.
Bitch, I'm all that holding me. Told him, no, y'all acting like some over me. Put this bitch up on that ball.
Hey. Yo, that boy feeling it, man. That's how we should be in our locker room. But we sitting here bullshitting, man. And that's my first and last curse of the night.
No, you need at least 10 curses tonight, minimum.
You, boys,
leave that on the shelf.
Them boys came in our trap, ran the trap, and left the trap. That's exactly what they did. They handled this. Drake May did his best impression of Josh Allen tonight. He was out the pocket, in the pocket, going to the sidearm, almost nearly falling and finding Diggs for first down. This duo that you saw today was reminiscent of the old Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs, was it not? Was it not? Didn't you love watching it slightly? Weren't you like, oh, because I'm going to tell you right now, I felt some type of way watching Diggs do us dirty. I'm going to tell you, I felt some type of way. Not because I was like, oh, I want Diggs back. It was just how everybody was trying to poo-poo on him like he was cooked, like he ain't the same dude. He saved the juice for Trey White. He saved the juice for Cole Bishop. He saved the juice for all 11 cats on this Bills team. We did not come to play. We were thinking, it's a division game. I know it's going to be tough, but we're going to go ahead and handle business. How do you win games when you're going back-to-back games of giving up 11 penalties? This is 22 penalties in 2 games. You're not winning games like that. And now we're turning the ball over? Are you kidding me? Bro, you can't win games turning the ball over and having penalties. And drive-killing penalties at that? Bro, no. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. I need to ask you something.
Please.
The 4-1 team that you see here, are we a pig with makeup on, or are we a legitimate 4-1 team that people should respect?
I don't know what the Buffalo Bills are right now. That's where I'm really conflicted. I have no idea what the Buffalo Bills are right now. I have a feeling they're not nearly as good as their record indicates right now. And that's on me. You know, that's on me, that's on you, that's on all of us who allow winning to cure all. And unfortunately, winning does cure all. At the end of the day, all that does matter is winning. But Jeff King said it last week, right, with that infamous super chat, and many have said that, that despite winning, this team has done several things throughout the first month of football that would have a fan or anybody watching this team sit back and say there's a lot to be concerned about. You could take the rose-colored glasses off, look at the game this evening, and probably say to yourself, the New England Patriots are the best team the Bills have played this year. Because right now, the Baltimore Ravens defense is on pace to allow 600 points in a season. It's never happened before. Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are a bad football team. And that's not including Lamar Jackson being hurt. Their defense is so bad that you have to look at that game differently. And I will always give the Buffalo Bills credit for pulling off what they did in that football game. But it took a Herculean effort to score 41 points and beat the Baltimore Ravens at home by 1 point. That was the big, amazing win. And I do give them all the credit in the world because that was an unbelievable victory. But let's look at the sample size here. You have that game, and ever since, the only win that Baltimore has on their resume is against the lowly Cleveland Browns. You beat the Miami Dolphins, who lost to the Carolina Panthers today. So that was basically a battle of who's going to be picking number one in the draft. Oh, I know who's picking number one as of right now, the New York Jets, who you destroyed. So everybody's going to be destroying the New York Jets. Then the New Orleans Saints, who had an argument to be also one of the worst teams in football. The Bills have struggled in some capacity against every one of these teams, not named the New York Jets. And it's been different variations of struggling. Maybe the defense struggled more than the offense in certain circumstances. Maybe the offense had a couple of drives here and there that you weren't thrilled with. The majority of it up until this point was the defense. Tonight, the offense decided to join the party. They put up 20 points in this football game, 3 turnovers in this game. This team had not lost a turnover battle, I think, since I was in high school. So it's hard to really get upset about the fact that they finally lost one, but you have to get upset about it because these are the games that you have to win. The Buffalo Bills had a golden path to the 1 seed. Many would argue they still do, but these are the games you have to win in order to continue to pave that yellow brick road towards the promised land. You are a 7.5 point favorite. You haven't lost at home in over a year. You're playing a quarterback who doesn't even have a full season's worth of starts under his belt. You have that whiteout, the new jerseys. You have all the juice, all of this stuff going your way. And this is what you show up with: 6 points at half, 20 points total. The touchdown to get within 3. You look at that touchdown, and really it was New England collapsing. How many major penalties did they have on that drive towards the end there to allow Buffalo to instantaneously get into the red zone? Then when the Bills had to put their own drive together to go down and take the lead, they could not get a first down. When they were in the red zone, they had to settle for 3 with over 2 minutes left. The way Drake May was cooking, the way Stefon Diggs was cooking, they were going to lose that football game. And sure enough, they wound up losing it. The Buffalo Bills were outplayed in every capacity tonight. Drake May outplayed Josh Allen. Stefon Diggs was the best offensive player on the entire field. They could not establish a run game. I don't know what Joe Brady was doing towards the beginning of the football game. You're running a reverse. You're running a reverse with Dawson Knox. You have Keon Coleman fumbling on your own 10-yard line. You have Josh Allen throwing an interception uncharacteristically in the red zone. Man, oh man, oh man, what a bad loss. These are the wins you have to stack. I was just criticizing the LA Chargers last week for losing a football game that you have to win against the New York Giants. In many ways, this game was awfully similar because the New York Giants were a 6-point dog to the Chargers in that game. The Bills were a 7.5 point favorite in this game. That was a major, major statement win for the New England Patriots and a major eye-opener and a major, wow, what the hell just happened loss for the Buffalo Bills. On with the internet as we're all loading here, and I can see that my internet is absolute trash. So it's probably on my end, and I apologize. What else is new? Why wouldn't it be trash? Why wouldn't it just be awful right now, the way my night's going? But, you know, the way you look at this game is that you have 5 games under your belt right now. The Buffalo Bills lose to probably the best opponent, the most well-rounded opponent they've played up until this point, and they really got outclassed on both sides of the ball for the full duration of the football game. So I have a lot of questions about this team. It's on me for not questioning it earlier. I allowed these wins to sort of conflate where my mind is currently at, and I think right now I'm sitting here wondering exactly who these Bills are as we move forward here. The interesting thing is I don't know who anyone in the league is right now. There's question marks surrounding every team, but that's a win tonight where the Buffalo Bills allowed themselves to get beat in basically every facet. And it felt like for the majority of the game, they just did not show up. And it was a really, really disheartening loss, Rico.
I might sound like this is my moment to toot the horn, but I don't.
Let me know in the chat, by the way. I can't see Rico. Rico's screen is loading. I can't even see him.
I'm fine.
So let me know in the chat if that's just me.
You guys let me know
Can you
because
hear me all
I
right?
think you and I are fine. I think the chat and I, they get it. I'm here. We're good. Let me just keep it rolling. All right. If you guys got it, just give us a thumbs up if we're good. All right.
Are we good? Yeah. Are we good? I'm hoping we're good because I can see it now.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, well, I told you guys this, and I told you that. I kept on saying after the freaking Saints game, I said, guys, stop thinking that because we're 4-0 and we gotta win. So what does it matter? This is the reason I've been telling you we're not gonna put up 30 points every game. So we're gonna have to count on this defense to do something. And look, this is exactly what took place. You getting Stefon Diggs cooking Trey White. You got listen, let me say something. I need Brandon Beane to walk in that locker room and say, yo, open that wallet up. That check that I gave you today, give that shit to me. Oh, by the way, Trey White, give me your wallet. Hey, Greg Rousseau, give me your wallet. Because all the money that I paid y'all, I didn't get no money on my return. I didn't get no return on my investment. Where in the heck was Greg Rousseau after those first 2 plays? Non-existent. Where in the heck was Benford? All game long. What are you covering, Mac Hollins? That's not who I want you to cover. I want you to cover the dog. I want you to cover Diggs, the one that's been cooking us all day. Don't leave it to Trey White to try to stay with this guy. Are you kidding? We paid these dudes to be difference makers, but they didn't make a difference in this game. Ooh, that's a bar. They were paid to be the difference makers, but there was no difference in this game because the freaking Patriots are able to do what they need to do. Let's give it a buck here. They gave us 30 yards worth of penalties to get us back into the game. Had they been disciplined, bro, this was a beatdown. Let's call it what it is. This was a beatdown. We got owned at home. They walked in our trap, they handled us, and they left the trap. They didn't even clean up. They just left us there. Just, you know what I mean? I don't want to get graphic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go there. You know what? I will go there, right? You know, sometimes when you're with your lady, you're with your person, you know what I'm saying? And you do your business, and I'm gonna get something to clean up. I'll go clean you up. Bro, they didn't even come back to clean us up. We are done. They finished us. Bro, terrible, man. So this is one of those things where Coach McDermott was outcoached. Babbage was outcoached. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. We got out-hustled. We were not a good team today. Josh was not his best. James Cook was not his best. The O-line were not their best. This was the game where nobody stepped up. Nobody did what they needed to do, and it was evident. It was very clear, and we need to be better. And guess what? Milano's out again. So now we're going to be playing with backup linebackers. We're going to be Bernard, and we're going to have Thompson, and we're going to have a sprinkling Dorian Williams when he's healthy. Maybe Charlo's going to get in there. Maybe Joy Andreessen. Bro, it's not great. It didn't look good today, and we need to have some big truth conversations about this team because when we played the Ravens, although we won that game, we didn't have any business winning that game. We didn't. They messed up. We should have went 0-1. We played the Jets that are god-awful. We beat them. The Dolphins, we barely got past them, right? It took a late heroic interception thrown by Tua for us to be at where we're at. The Saints, we should have destroyed the Saints, but we played with our food. And they almost came back and tried to do some things to us. And then this was the result. Today's game against the Patriots let us know exactly where we are. We're not as good as we think we are. We're not as good as we think we are. Don't be fooled by this record that we have at 4-1. Don't be fooled. We're not as good as we believe that we are. And by the time we play the Chiefs, gut check time. Gut check time. Golly, man. This secondary, and I hate that we're going to have to depend on Max Hairston to come back from a knee injury to help us get over the hump and be that secondary that can be respected and respectful. Bro, we're waiting on Max Hairston to come back? Bro, we're waiting on Ed Oliver to come back. Is that gonna be the difference? Will it help? Absolutely, but golly. And this is the crap that I absolutely hate. It's an overreaction. Is it? Is it really an overreaction? Are you kidding me, Osgood? Boy, listen, I'm going to be respectful, and I'm going to pass the mic to my man, Z-Bot, and I'm going to ask you, Z-Bot, is it an overreaction for Bills fans to feel frustrated about this loss to the Patriots?
Oh, it's not an overreaction to feel frustrated. I don't know if it's an overreaction to feel some type of way about the loss, though. I don't know who the Buffalo Bills are right now. To say that we don't know who the Bills are right now is not an overreaction. I have no idea. They haven't played a great game once. The only great game that they've played was against the New York Jets. That is the worst team in the NFL. I don't know who the Buffalo Bills are right now. I've watched the Indianapolis Colts play great games. All right. I've watched a couple of these teams play great games. I've watched the Chargers, who have dropped 2 straight, play great games. I know that they're 3-2. The Bills have a better record. I get that. I haven't seen the Bills play a great game. So I don't know if it's an overreaction or not. I don't necessarily know what the Buffalo Bills are right now. All I know is I have 5 games, and in all 5 games, the Buffalo Bills haven't looked like the team we were hoping they'd look like through the full duration of a 60-minute football game. I really don't. So I don't know exactly what the Buffalo Bills are right now, but what they were tonight was an inferior team to the New England Patriots. That's just a fact. And then all of a sudden, life comes at you fast in the NFL. All of a sudden, you're 4-1. The New England Patriots are 1 game behind. You're tied with the Indianapolis Colts. You're tied with potentially the Jacksonville Jaguars, depending on what they do tomorrow. I don't know if it's an overreaction, Rico, to say that we don't know what the Buffalo Bills are right now, or if they're as good as we thought they were going to be. I think it might be an overreaction to say that this team isn't a top team. I still think that they are, but it also all depends on what Josh Allen is in any given game. It also depends on what their offense is in any given game. Tonight, the offense couldn't get going, and look what happened. They couldn't win the football game. Every game up until this point, James Cook had over 100 all-purpose yards. Tonight, they don't. They don't win the football game. Every game up until this point, they win the turnover battle or draw. They don't tonight. They lose the football game. So this team is relying on winning in a consistent way, it feels like. They've won many of their games in very similar ways. Tonight, they weren't able to do that. The most frustrating thing, though, is the inability to stop Drake May, the inability to stop Stefon Diggs. I mean, you had, and you got to give credit. I mean, I have to give credit to Drake May. He was unbelievable. Drake May was unbelievable. As much as you might want to get on the Bills' defense in this game, he was unreal. They had him sacked. He makes an unreal play to Stefon Diggs. They had him sacked before the game-winning field goal. He got out of it and was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was incredible. But it can't happen. You can't let Drake May be incredible at home in a divisional game in prime time. It just can't happen, and it did. He was the better. I mean, he was incredible tonight. And Stefon Diggs was unbelievable tonight. How was there no emphasis on stopping Stefon Diggs? You knew they were going to want to have him go off tonight. He went nuclear. He had almost 150 yards. He dominated the Buffalo Bills tonight. Dominated. They had no answer. Tre'Davious White, God bless him. How many times this evening were you watching and you're just like, oh my God, he got cooked 3 or 4 different times, including the pass interference on the goal line. And the crazy thing is here, some of the errors didn't end up costing them. They were gifted a million different opportunities and they still couldn't cash in. They don't score a touchdown on the 1-yard line. They hold them to a field goal. That still didn't matter. They fumble on that Dawson Knox end around. They force a fumble right after that. That didn't really weigh into it a whole ton. Yet all of these different opportunities they were gifted throughout the game or they created throughout the game, it still didn't wind up resulting in a W. And at the end, they had a chance to put this game away. If they would have gotten a first down, they could have continued the drive, got in the end zone, scored a touchdown, and forced Drake May and company to go and win that game with a touchdown, and they didn't. I mean, you got to give credit to the Patriots here, too. Drake May played incredible. Stefon Diggs played incredible. Their defense stuffed up when they needed to, and a rookie kicker, Rico, a rookie kicker, nails a 52-yarder to win the game in that environment. So I have a lot of questions right now. The thing is, I think the Buffalo Bills, through 5 weeks, they've looked more similar in many ways than not, but they've been winning, and winning is the cure-all. I think Philadelphia Eagles fans are having this same question right now. They lose today to Denver. I think there was a lot of questions about their inability to get a pass game going. Saquon Barkley hasn't been able to do much of anything up until this point, but they were winning, right? Now, all of a sudden, you lose to Denver. There's questions. You lose, and those questions come to the forefront. I think we all knew those questions were there, but the Bills' ability to continuously win was able to put those questions on the back burner, and all you could do is sit back and say, listen, this team just finds a way to win. They were also finding a way to 30 points routinely. Tonight, how many opportunities did they have to get to that point? When's the last time the Buffalo Bills didn't score a touchdown in the first half, Rico? They had 3 points against this team going into half. 3 points.
Let's be clear. And let's if we're going to be true Bills fans and we're going to cover this team, Josh wasn't good today. Josh wasn't good. Josh wasn't the standard of what we need from Josh on a daily. Now, is he going to be perfect all the time? No, but he wasn't good. There were some uncharacteristic throws that he was making. We're like, what? Like, what made you throw that? Like, why'd you throw? I mean, he pretty much threw 2 picks and then one was out of bounds because the guy didn't get his feet in bounds. It was not great. Now, granted, that's a whole nother situation I'm going to talk on in just a moment. But let's be real. If we're going to be real fans, like, yo, he did not have a good day today. He did not have a good day today. And it doesn't help when we're killing ourselves in penalties and we can't run the football on top of that. So a lot is put on Josh's shoulders. But we pay you that much money. You are the guy that you are for a reason. And the only guy that showed up today to connect with Josh was Kincaid. Other than that, sparingly, there was guys that showed up. We needed consistency, and we didn't get it today. Now, which brings me to this point. Brandon Beane, as much as I like Brandon Beane, as much as we all like Brandon Beane, he's going to have to look at that roster sheet and go, okay, Josh Palmer, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Shavers, bro, roll call. Where were you guys tonight? I needed more of you guys tonight, and we didn't get it. And the thing that disappoints me the most is Josh Palmer, the one guy that I actually thought was going to come in and really be a difference maker because he's a separator and he's had success in this league with a quarterback that isn't to the level of Josh Allen. Oh, no, he should be able to cook because every receiver, new receiver that comes to Josh Allen, they succeed. Bro, what's going on? And I understand they need to build their chemistry, but he was here all offseason. It's not like we traded for him. Amari Cooper, at least we traded for Amari Cooper, so he had to learn things. So that's why you can say that they didn't have the time. Dude, you had all offseason to put something together and nothing? Y'all can't put something, a couple of receptions here and there? Bro, the money that brother's being paid, I need more. And that's what Brandon Beane should be asking. I need more from you. What's going on? Because now you're going to force this guy to go into the trade market and start looking at guys who I should trade for. Should I go to the Saints and trade for Rashid Shaheed? Or is it Chris Olave? Is he available? Like, dude, are we there? Are we going to have to? Because we have no downfield threat. Nobody's scared of Keon Coleman. I'm going to be real with you. Unless it's in the red zone, you ain't scared of that brother to go anywhere deep. Nobody's scared of Palmer. Ain't nobody absolutely scared of Curtis Samuel. So who's the guy that can stretch the defense a little bit to say, maybe you got to respect me a little bit? Bro, come on, man. There's only so much that we can take underneath until we really got to set something deep. And I got to get something else off my chest, man. This annoyed the hell out of me. I don't know if it annoyed you. Maybe it probably wasn't something that stood out to you, but it stood out to me. The Patriots give us the ball back with 12 seconds left. Or was it 12 seconds? Or was it 18 seconds? Doesn't matter. Okay?
8 because we had to take the ball out.
Yeah, but he got the ball at what? It was like
at the end of the game.
It was like 16 seconds or 18 seconds. And
no, there was 8 seconds left because the Bills had to return the kick.
Right, but Samuel had the football, so he went around and wasted time. So
I see what you're saying. Like when they kicked off, 15 seconds.
It was like 18 seconds. So Curtis Samuel, instead of getting out of bounds, get out of bounds quickly as possible. This guy's trying to make a play like he's about to take it back to the house. When's the last time you took anything back to the house? Curtis Samuel goes down and wastes his time. All right, now we have 8 seconds. So I'm thinking in my head, I was like, okay, so here's what they're going to do. They're going to run really deep out routes, and then as soon as you can't get out of bounds, and you'll have like maybe 3 seconds, 2 seconds, maybe 1 second, which gives you a lot closer for Josh to take a shot at the end zone. At least get a shot. And I bring this up because if you watch the Eagles-Broncos game, Jalen Hurts gave their team a shot, threw it to the end zone. If not for A.J. Brown knocking the ball out of his own guy's hands, by the way, Devontae Smith had the ball in his hand. He was coming down with that thing. So you mean to tell me you got 8 seconds and you decide to just give up and throw it to Josh Palmer and call it a day and quit? Bro, we've seen things happen with little time on the clock. Might I remind you of 13 seconds? You got 8 seconds. What if Josh Allen goes deep, right? Let's just say he takes the first down and we get 15 yards in an out route and there's 2 seconds left. He gets it all the way to the end zone. And then there's a pass interference. We got a shot. But no, we're just going to concede. It drove me nuts. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got the guy with the strongest arm in the NFL, and we say, nah, we good. We just going to take this L because no, man, take it right to the end. That drove me nuts. And this was indicative of the whole game. It was indicative of the whole game. Like, this is the effort that you're going to give us. That's the effort we got all game. None existed. There was no effort given all game. It annoyed me. I was frustrated by that. If I'm the only one tripping about that, then I'll sit on that. But fam, I was bugged out by that. I need effort right to the freaking last whistle, and you just give up, just throwing just a deep little route to Josh Palmer. Nah, bro, that shit had me. That they quit. You know what? You quit on that. Y'all quit. Y'all said, we'll get him next time. Nah, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. Like every opportunity is there. We've seen the craziest things happen. For crying out loud, the Titans throw a football that should have been picked, actually was picked. Boy gets out, fumbles it, goes back to the end zone. They win the game after that because of a few plays that took place. For crying out loud, there's ways. But we gave up. And this was the game today. This was the game. This is what we watched. Like, turning the football over, not holding on to the football, bro. I was frustrated by this loss. And I'll tell you right now, if this is the effort they're going to give, the Atlanta Falcons are going to come in and they're going to whoop our tail. Bijan Robinson is going to run all over us. Drake London, if you let Stefon Diggs do what he does, Drake London and Darnell Mooney, they're going to do what they do. And plus Matt Milano being out, bro, frustration doesn't begin to explain how I'm feeling right now. And I bet you there's a whole lot of Bills fans right now feeling the freaking same way. Frustration. Now, I had to get that off my chest. I apologize. But now, is it all doom and gloom? And I guess this is the question I have for you now. Was there a positive that you could take from this game? Offensively, defensively, was there something you saw that you can say, you know what, though? It wasn't as bad because this was here or this happened. You let me know. What were your thoughts if something did stand out for you?
Oh, I thought Dalton Kincaid was great today. I thought Dalton Kincaid was great. I'm not even ready to go there yet, though. I'm not ready for that yet. Okay. So here's how you start the game, right? You start the game with you're driving the ball. You're driving it well. Like, it looks like you got a rhythm, right? Then you run that reverse to Dawson, which I don't care, fumble or not. On what planet are we ever running a reverse to Dawson Knox? Which I just don't understand.
Sweep. I hate that play. Hate it. Go on.
Right. Like, the whole mantra of this offense anymore seems to be taking the easy route because it works, right? Like, that seems to be the way things have been working. So things are going well. Then you run that play, you fumble. Now, granted, you do force a fumble the next play. Okay, you get the ball back. That's great. So it's 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 10. This drive to me was a microcosm of the game.
Talk to me.
2nd and 10, they throw a sideline fade down the left side of the field. 3rd and 10, they throw a sideline fade down the right side of the field. And it was almost just like, all right, we'll punt the ball now. Then this is what kills me. You come out of half and you do exactly what this offense has been doing all year long. Dink, dunk, run the football. There's a guy there. There's a guy there. Boom, bang, boom. Curtis Samuel to the left. Touchdown. Boom. Came out and did everything well. Executed perfectly. Maybe it's because it was scripted at half. Maybe it's because they got inspired at half. I have no idea. But that's how they win offensively. That's what they've been doing all year long. They didn't do that the entire first half. So where was that? All first half. To go into half against this team with 3 points, this is how you lose a game where you're over a touchdown favorite. I couldn't believe that. That second drive, the mix of the first drive with the reverse to Knox, and then the second drive throwing 3 deep ball fades down the sideline. Josh Allen's as good as it gets, but in no world is this offense currently built around throwing deep ball fades down the left and right sideline on 2nd and 3rd down. I don't know if this was meant to be done because they felt like they were going to win this game regardless, and let's just try this out now. I have no idea. I really don't. The inability, though, to get the run game going tonight, that started right from the beginning. And just in general, it felt like there was no cohesiveness on offense. And then on the other side of the ball, it just felt like they were able to do whatever they want. How you couldn't find a way to stop Stefon Diggs at all. I mean, he just dominated this football game. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I think you went into this game with the one thing in mind. If you're a Bills fan, it was Stefon Diggs is going to want to have a good game. They're going to have something drawn up to be able to mitigate his impact. And this is the weird thing about this game is there was so many little things that unfortunately didn't go the Bills' way as well that the Patriots did execute on. I mean, if DaQuan Jones is there a second earlier on Drake May on that throw, that's a sack and they probably get the ball back and maybe they win. Or, if they get that sack right before the end on that field goal there, just a second earlier, maybe they win, right? 11 penalties, which I don't understand. Going into last week, this team was the least penalized team in the NFL. Now, all of a sudden, it's penalty after penalty after penalty. Like, what was that? You were just waiting for a penalty every single time the ball was snapped. So I don't entirely know what that was. And I don't know exactly what to make of the team right now. I don't really know what to make of the league right now. In a weird way, I've watched every single one of these teams extensively through 5 weeks. I don't know who looks great. I think right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to me, look like one of the scariest teams in the NFL. Baker Mayfield can't lose. I mean, I know they lost last week to the Eagles, but they were down terribly, injured beyond belief, and they still had the ability to come back late and almost stole the football game. Today, they stole one from Seattle in an unbelievable shootout. The Indianapolis Colts, they can run the football as good as anybody. They're playing extremely well. But, I mean, in totality, I look around the league, and I don't necessarily know if anybody's great right now. I don't know if anybody's necessarily horrible right now outside of the New York Jets. Such a really, really weird league right now. And this is why this game was so big. If you win this game 5-0 with a really big bye week coming up, because it feels like the Bills need this bye week as early as it is, man, this just, like I said, life comes at you fast in this league. All of a sudden, New England's 3-2, you're 4-1. That 5-0 to 2-3 would have been just such a massive, massive gap. But give credit to New England. Every chance this evening that they were given to try and execute and put this game away, they did with a rookie kicker now, and I still can't get over that.
I've seen people say coaching is the issue and that look no further than what we have at coaching. And not that I'm dismissing folks saying, look at the coaching, because I think it's valid, but it didn't seem like we were prepared today. It did not seem that we matched the energy. It didn't seem that there was an urgency to really get this win, knowing that this is a primetime game. We already saw the results that happened today. We saw the Chargers lose. We saw some teams that shouldn't have lost that loss. So this was your chance to kind of double up, right? Double dip, if you will. And we just came out flat. And here's the thing. We've been coming out flat these last couple weeks. We came out flat against the Dolphins. You saw that. It took us a while to wake up. Saints, I thought this is a sloppy game. They're like, oh, no, it's not so. Dude, we continue to slop and bring out the slop, right? The amount of penalties and the things, the penalties that were happening were illegal formation, false start, like things that are just discipline based. And we're allowing this to take place. Bro, at one point, you have to start looking at McDermott, be like, dude, come on, man. Are you getting tired? Are you tired? Sometimes I wonder, like, yo, do you feel like you run this? It's run its course. Do you still have the energy for this? Like, fam, like we need something from this guy to jolt these guys. And when you have a display of football that took place today, it does make you, and it unfortunately makes you look at everything, and it's gonna make you point right back to the old coach and be like, Brett, you keep this. If you have an elite quarterback like Josh Allen, and you continue to have say continue, and I say that I'm going to use this loosely. You continue to have games like this where it's just meh, and you let a Patriots team that I believe that the Bills are much better than stay in the game like that. You let Stefon Diggs dictate and really, really force your hand, bro. When I looked at the rest of the receiving core, what these guys are doing, Hunter Henry and Keyshawn Booty were the two guys that really, come on, fam, like knock it off. And here's another thing: if he's cooking you, go to man and say, Benford, you're locking him up. I paid you all this money. I need you to stay with him and lock him up. Be the guy that's around him. Why am I still seeing number 27 covering job? Like, why am I seeing that? It was driving me nuts. But it comes to times like, yo, like, how much trust do you have in your guys, man? Like it drives me nuts. I mean, I'm frustrated. And I think a lot of Bills fans are frustrated. But when I see stuff like this, I'm like, fam, like there's gonna be a lot more. I'll tell you right now, you go follow X these next few days, you're gonna see a lot of people saying, yo, what's up with McDermott, bro? Yo, McDermott. Even Louis Riddick was like, coaching. Whether he wants to say it was bad coaching or we just got outcoached. Pick one. Because we absolutely got outcoached. Vrabel was on it. McDaniel was on it. They were on our tail today, and we did not look good. And I'm sorry, man. The Ravens, Saints, Dolphins, Jets game, to me, it's September. And I said this last week. September is out the way and it's over with. Now we're about to get into real football. Boom. First week of October, there's a loss. And now we're gonna face some tough teams going forward. My goodness, man, we gotta be better. And it starts with coaching. And I'm not gonna lay off. It absolutely starts with coaching because it permeates from what the coach brings. You know what I mean? If you're fired up and ready to go, bro, your team's gonna be fired up and ready to go. I did not see any fire coming from McDermott at all on the sidelines. Not one freaking bit. So now gut check time. What you gonna bring to us next week? Maybe the silver lining is us losing to this division team got us back on track. Be like, yo, you know what, guys? This is how easily, you know what I'm saying, things can derail if we don't attack it now. So we know what we need to fix. Let's get to it. But we continue to miss tackles. We continue to take bad angles. We're not where we're supposed to be. We're taking stupid penalties. It's the same crap over and over again. Bro, you got to fix this nonsense. You got to fix this because this could go down quick. Luckily, we have an elite quarterback that won't allow this crap to happen. But, dude, we got to match the energy of our coach. And our coach's energy today was flat. And you saw it with the players. Terrible. I'm pissed off. I'm still pissed off. I'm annoyed. I'm very much annoyed. But, listen, it's one game. It's one game. That's the only thing I can say is it's one game. And sometimes you need losses like this to kind of say, all right, let's clean things up. So we'll see. But I don't want to hear anybody tell me, oh, you're overreacting. I don't want to hear any of that crap. There's no overreaction here. This was piss poor football today. Piss poor. I see you thinking. You're like, I know. It's a head scratcher. It's a head scratcher today. So my question now is, what's the first? Here's one for you. What's the first thing you're going to go and fix? Or what's the first thing that you're going to go and say, you know what? This department right here, it's bad and it needs to be fixed. We need to do this. We need to do that. Is there a department that stands out to you that's like, we need to focus on this and fix it? He's thinking. And in a way, and I have a feeling, here's the thing. I have a feeling that Bot can't hear me. He's frozen. He's waiting for me to hit back. I don't know if you guys, is he frozen? Because it looks like he might be frozen. So I'm going to keep going until he comes to. I might even tell him to like unfreeze this thing and come back to me. So as he's gaining back, Bot, let me know if you can hear me. If you can, jump in, but you probably can't. But so I'm going to keep it rolling. So here's the deal at the end of the day. If we're going to be a contending team, bro, there's so many things that we got to fix. Priority. It didn't seem like we took running the football priority. I don't know. Did it seem like that to you guys? Because I'm sitting there watching, okay, so how are they going to give the ball to James Cook? What's he going to be doing? Where is he going to be going? And I know that we run the ball extremely well interior, inside the tackles, but you notice that it wasn't working inside the tackle. So, like, how are we going to get him the football? Find ways to get James Cook the football. This is what I'm thinking. Like, get him in space. If it's a screenplay, if it's you mean like a little swing, something. I didn't really see much of him in in the process of trying to get this game going for us. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I felt in this situation. So that's number one. Number two, I know this whole everybody eats mantra is a thing. I get it. But I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Sometimes, just sometimes, it takes a moment where you have to say, who's my main guy? And maybe not even, it's not who's my main guy. Which one of you guys is going to ask for more? Which one of you guys is going to just say, you know what, let me be the guy? Because I feel like there's a lot of guys that are there just to say, you know what, when it's my turn, it'll be my turn. But like, who's going to be the one that says, you know what, I'll be the guy. Let me step up. Because there's no way that there's no way that Stefon Diggs in that Patriots offense is just going to say, when you want to give it to me, you can give me the football. That's probably why he got pissed off. He was like, bro, I see where this is going. Get me out of here. Not for me. I don't blame him. If that's the case, I don't blame him. But then how do you fault the Bills for going a different route when they had such success last year, especially Josh winning the MVP? But then when you really need someone to push forward and get something done, who's the guy that steps up? You didn't see it today. You didn't see it, but you know who you did see it for? Drake May and the freaking Patriots. It is that simple. Go back to the the Bills and Detroit game when we were down and we needed a huge play. Who in the heck do you think who do you think that Josh Allen went to? Diggs, right in the middle of that field. It was like a 35-yard strike. Right down to give us a game-winning field goal. Bro, there's going to come a time where somebody has to say, yo, I'll be that guy. Not, I'll wait till it's my turn. Bro, it's the NFL. You're playing the best of the best. So I'm hoping that something changed. My man Z-Bot, are you here with me? Because at first I wasn't sure if you're there, so I just kept on rolling.
No, thank you very much. I'm here. How about this internet? Bravo, round of applause. This internet feels a lot like it's playing in a rivalries game in a whiteout right now is what this internet feels like.
You're good, baby.
I think I'm good. Now. A lot of things tonight. How about the amount of times Chris Collinsworth pointed out the predictability of this offense? Did you notice that, by the way? Every time they got him done, Chris Collinsworth would say there's a 70% chance they're throwing the football. Every time they got underneath center, Collinsworth would say there's a 70% chance they're running the football. I don't know if I've ever really thought about it that way. Got a feeling if I'm thinking about it, then every other DC watching that Sunday night football game tonight is probably thinking the same thing. Just one thing that stood out to me that I thought was interesting. I also thought like Allen had to run the ball a ton tonight, and it was not designed runs. Allen's taking the snap, and he has to run the football because there was nothing there. Kincaid was obviously the go-to tonight, but it felt like outside of that, it felt like Allen had to run it a ton. I know James Cook wound up with 15 carries, but it did feel like they bailed on that a little bit towards the beginning. The amount of penalties, though, was just off the charts. I could not believe the amount of penalties in this game. That's the frustrating thing. It's one thing to lose, but to lose with 3 turnovers, to lose with that many penalties, this is the frustrating thing, Rico. They didn't lose a game like this all year last year. That's the problem, right? They lose to Baltimore on the road. They were just outclassed, but it was on the road. That team did whatever they wanted against them. And you looked at Baltimore, right, as a team that was a Super Bowl contender. And of course, the Bills wind up facing them in the divisional round, and they were a play away from losing to them. That was a Super Bowl contending team, right? And then you go on to lose to the Rams in an all-time shootout. The Bills didn't lose a game like this last year. And there's a reason why the Bills haven't lost at home in so long. They win these games routinely. And I understand things happen and you can't win them all. But this one felt like it was very much in their control in terms of being able to win it. And for whatever reason, they were not able to be the better team tonight. And they had several opportunities to be the better team. I mean, even when they made mistakes earlier in the game, when they have that Dawson Knox fumble on the end around there, they get the ball immediately back and they squander that. They go into half and it's 6-3. They come out and they score the touchdown. But here's the crazy thing. The defense really held up in the first half, Rico. Then the Bills come out in the first half or the second half, first drive of the second half, go right down the field like a hot knife through butter. And what happens? Instantly, the Patriots go right down the field and score. This is what's so frustrating. Is you feel like, all of a sudden, the Bills defense really seemed to step up in the first half when the offense was finally having a bad outing. Then the Bills offense gets it together right off the bat of the second half. Boom. The Patriots offense goes right down the field. The sad part about this is the talking point post game here is not only going to be Stefon Diggs with the incredible reunion game. He's now 2-0 playing against the Buffalo Bills, one with the Houston Texans, one now with New England. But it's going to be Drake May. Drake May going into Buffalo. That was his first game-winning drive victory. That was the first primetime game I think he's ever played in. I don't think New England had one last year. In Buffalo, snapping that streak. Like, this is why it's more frustrating of a loss than just, hey, Bills were 4-0. You can't win them all. I think this is why it's even more frustrating, because you're a touchdown and a half favorite. You're playing against a team that is not used to the light like this, really. And what did I say pregame? I said the one thing that I think could be a difference in the game is this team getting the juice from finally getting the ability to show the world that maybe they are something. And it felt like they had that tonight. It felt like they took that to heart. It felt like they used that as fuel. And it just felt like the Bills tonight, it felt like the Bills were a team that just felt like they belonged there. You know what I mean? They belong in prime time. We're just going to show up once again and get this done. It's kind of like what happened in the Miami game to some degree. Thursday night football, it's prime time. We'll get it done. And they eventually did. And you know what's funny? Even tonight, Rico, as bad as it was, didn't it kind of feel like that might happen again? You had all of those penalties go the wrong way for New England. The Bills go right down the field instantly, score that touchdown, get the ball back, and it felt like they were going to go down the field again and maybe score a touchdown and win this game. But then this was the other thing that I thought stood out. It's 1st and 10, and you're down near the red zone. The Bills didn't complete a pass. They wound up kicking that field goal with Matt Prater at 4th and 10. And I keep seeing the clip. Was Khalil Shakir interfered with? Yeah, probably. But, you know, you're going to let it come down to that in a game that you were supposed to dominate. That's what frustrates me. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan about that because that's why they lost. It's not why they lost. Maybe it played a factor. Maybe it should have been called. I'm not going to disagree with you there. But the reality is the Bills didn't complete a pass on that series. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, all 3 incompletions, and you settle for the field goal. And what's scary, here's this other thing too. And I thought at moments tonight, the defense did step up. I thought in the first half, they really did. I thought they kept this team in it. But the sad thing is, you shouldn't feel that 2 minutes remaining at home is enough time for Drake May to go down the field and win this game in regulation with a rookie kicker. And yet that's exactly how I felt. When the Bills could not score a touchdown, could not get a first down to continue milking the clock, I immediately thought this is too much time for Drake May. This is too much time to allow a rookie field goal, a rookie kicker to go down and win the game with a field goal. That was the reality. That shouldn't be the case. A championship team, in many ways, should not allow that makeup of a team to go down and take advantage of a 2-minute drill at home in that environment. And once again, I get it happens to everybody, but it kind of felt like it was inevitable. But at the end of the day, what's crazy to me, they earned it. I mean, the Patriots earned it on that final drive. Drake May made a couple of unreal plays. And yet, as much as you want to just throw your hat after this game, you got to tip your cap to Drake May on that final drive, because that was an elite final drive to be able to get it done. It really was.
It really was. It really was. He channeled inner Josh Allen. I'm telling you, this guy, they're trying to, every white athletic quarterback, they're trying to mold into Josh Allen. This is the closest one. And he probably will be the closest one, right? That is athletic, that can run, that has that arm, and he's actually accurate. And they're building a team around him. I mean, they drafted 2 receivers, I think, last draft to really help him. I think one of them was Jalen Polk, and the other one, I can't remember the other receiver that they drafted over there, right? So, like, they're trying to help out, bringing in Diggs in. Hunter Henry's an established guy that's been there for a little bit now, right? They gave him a running back in Henderson. Like, they're building around this dude. So this guy, if you think this was a one-off game, bro, the Patriots are going to be battling with us for this freaking division spot. I can tell you that right now. Forget about the Dolphins. Forget about the freaking Jets. It's going to be the Patriots. And they rebuilt rather quickly. They found themselves a quarterback, and now they're going to be battling us. Now, is this a one-off? I don't think it is. I think they're going to be they're going to be a thorn in our side in that division, because I think everybody should have a thorn in their side. I just feel like I'm disappointed that the Bills were never the thorn in the Patriots side when they were whooping tail for 11 seasons straight, winning the division. It was sickening. But we have an opportunity to now get our act together and gut check ourselves. Now, more specifically, though, I can't let this go, man. Josh's turnovers really killed us. That interception really killed us, man. There was momentum. We gave the ball back to the freaking Patriots. We can't do that. And Josh knows better. This is the worst part, right? The fumble, I get it, because you can say it's a wash. Because when we fumbled it, and then they went and fumbled it right off the rip. Boom, we got it back, right? Great punch out by Shaq Thompson, and then we got the ball back. And then the freaking the interception, bad. There were some bad options, like throwing the back shoulder fade to Keon. That didn't work. It was just a lot of things were just not in sync. It was not in sync, and the receivers are not in sync with Josh. It doesn't feel that way, right? If you're gonna find someone that you're gonna feature, is it Kincaid? Okay, then try to feature him a little bit more, right? Is it Khalil Shakir? Oh, everybody eats, but there's gonna be a time where somebody's got to eat more, and we haven't established that yet. And it was such a great display today, where, bro, we don't do this. Everybody eats. It's, are you the hot hand? That's what I'm gonna go to, and you're gonna keep eating. And that was Stefon Diggs today. This guy killed us. He killed us, and that was what it was. And it sucks because right now you should see the posts that are being posted on Twitter right now. You got the New England Patriots right now. I can't even hate. This is actually pretty funny. The Patriots post this picture here with Stefon Diggs looking at my man's. Bro, you can't tell me that's not funny. It's funny. They're saying, "Oh, you see me now? Okay, cool." Right? It sucks. It really does suck. And this is the Stefon Diggs getting the better of Josh Allen and the Bills because it's the second time, right? And now he's feeling mighty good because he's healthy. And by the way, they asked Stefon Diggs, was this personal? Was this something that you damn right it was personal? 100% personal. Man, we got some things to think about and we got things to do. Josh Palmer, this is a call to you, sir. I need more from you. Whatever the hell you're doing, trying to figure out this offense, I guarantee this Brady offense cannot be that complicated that you can't come in here and get it. Amari Cooper came halfway through, and my man was doing some things. I don't want to hear nothing about you don't get it and you're not getting it. Catch on or get the F out. Catch on or get out, for real, because this is getting too much, man. Keon Coleman we've seen strides. We've seen good things. Bro, you got to be a compliment. Talk about complimentary football. Be a complimentary piece on this offense to help this offense be consistent. And right now, this offense today, bro, if Josh Allen turned that football over and the defense, you know what I'm saying, they weren't as shaky today. They weren't as bad because they, like you said, they held up the first half. But fam, that secondary, they can't hold up. They can't hold up, especially when I get in the pass rush.
That's the thing. How about winning a game where Josh Allen makes a mistake? How about winning a game where Allen makes a mistake, Rico? The guy never throws a pick in the red zone. God forbid. Was it his best day? No, I'm seeing some tweets saying it was like one of his worst games ever. I don't know about that. It certainly wasn't one of his best. No, it wasn't it wasn't. No. And that was a big factor in the game. They were going to score points on that drive. They wound up losing by 3 points. They were going to score points on that drive. So yeah, was Josh Allen a factor in the loss today? Yes. But once again, you have over 2 minutes remaining in the football game to make a stop on a quarterback who's never played in a primetime game, and they get into position to basically kick the field goal with time expiring. And the fact that you got how about a rookie kicker putting that thing down the middle from what would have been good from 90? I mean, that's what's crazy. But what frustrates me is the inability to win a football game where Josh Allen makes a crucial mistake. How about walking away and being able to say, man, you know what I loved about this game? Allen made a crucial mistake, something he never does. And the defense says, you know what? I'm going to pick up the slack and I'm going to find a way to make it happen. They did make a great play in forcing that fumble right after the Bills gave it up to New England. They did. But after that, that was a draw. And the crazy thing is they were this close to making the play. This is where I'm frustrated here. They really did almost make the game-altering play. If they sack Drake May on that play where he gets it out to Diggs, Bills probably win this football game. They really did. This is where it's weird to me. It was an unbelievable play. Here's what's weird, Rico.
Can't take away.
Stefon Diggs went nuclear in this game. Outside of that, I thought it was honest to God, it was actually more of Drake May just playing phenomenal than it was the Bills defense just kind of laying down, if that makes sense. I thought there were moments where the Bills defense had him. They had him. I mean, how many times on the broadcast did they bring up, there's Drake May making another play out of nothing, rolling to the right? They found a way to figure it out. The defense didn't play great, but I will say, I thought if there was a sliding scale of 0 to 100 in terms of having to put the blame on the defense or the Patriots offense figuring it out, I think that I'd have to lean a bit more towards the Patriots offense finding a way to pull this one out, because at the end, the Bills defense felt like they were going to make the big play and they didn't. The only problem I have is we look at this game and we're like, Josh Allen had he had the big error, the interception, and we focus on that, and we should, because that was a pivotal moment. But the problem is that it just feels like the Bills can never win a game where Josh Allen does have that crucial mistake. You know what I mean? That's the unfortunate reality, especially, Rico, when they can't run the football. And tonight, I don't know if they couldn't run the football. They really didn't run the football.
We didn't run the football well because they were well stout in the front. You got Milton Williams, you got Barmore there. That's a good defensive front. You got Harold Landry on that squad, bro. That ain't no joke of a defensive front. That's a good team. So obviously they took away and slowed down James Cook. You can't really take away James Cook. You can slow him down, which makes your quarterback have to make these plays to your not so great receivers. Let's keep it real. Our receivers aren't elite by any stretch of any imaginary. They're just a good, decent bunch of receivers. Nothing elite about anything that's there. Just good receivers at the end of the day. So that being said, there's a lot put on the plate of the offense, and we just didn't execute. That's what it comes down to. Defense at moments did their job. But like you said, out of really good plays out of Drake May, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, my man had him inside the collar, about to bring him down. And he says, nah, not today, son. Boom. And he hits a clutch throw to Diggs. Bro, and that's the thing. Clutch throw to Diggs. Diggs becomes available. And that's what Diggs did for Josh Allen for so long. When we needed a play, bro, you go to him. Obviously, outside of a couple of big drops that Diggs has made in the past, but for the most part, he was damn reliable for Josh Allen when they needed to make things happen. We lose. Sometimes it happens. But I will tell you right now, here's how we lost this game. It's very simple. Turning the ball over, drive killing penalties. We were moving the football, but the drive killing penalties brought us back. Now you got to change things up, and now we're punting again. It was just unfortunate where we couldn't get something consecutive to get going, and we were just too choppy. And that's what resulted in the game, in the loss today. We won in the time of possession, but we lost with the turnover battle, and we lost in the penalty battle. And you can't do a whole lot when it comes to that. Defensively, we did way better on third downs. These guys were 3 for 9 on third down conversions. That's a good day. You keeping these guys converting on third downs 3 times, that's a fantastic day defense. Offense didn't show up today. That's what it comes down to. And we've been saying this for a long time. We're not always going to put 30 points on the board. So sometimes you're gonna have to do something to kind of mitigate that. Special teams. I mean, are we giving ourselves great field position? Not really. Okay, cool. That red zone fumble by Keon Coleman, unfortunate, but those things, that's what takes away our chances. You can't win games like that. You really can't win games like that. So the penalties, the turnovers, not executing, a recipe for losing a football game. Now, is it the end of the world? No. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the end of the world. However, it's a tough loss. It's a tough loss.
When I say, I thought that there were moments tonight where I just thought the Patriots won it as opposed to the Bills defense kind of blowing it. I want to show you this particular play that led to a touchdown for New England, because this play right here, Tre'Davious White is beat off the initial route. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yep.
This throw though, it is just watch. This is insane. Okay. Like, that is an unbelievable throw, and I really don't know how much more you can defend that. The New England Patriots really just made plays tonight, which sucks. Like, usually it's the Bills making the 1 or 2 additional plays, but right now, off the top of my head, I can think of Drake May making that play, the play on the final drive where he gets out of the sack and gets it to Diggs, and then the play where he doesn't get sacked, the play before they end up kicking it and gets back to the line of scrimmage. I really do think that the Patriots found a way to outclass the Bills defense despite a good effort. I really do. And it sucks because I thought that for a good portion of this game, Rico, I thought the Bills defense was really stepping up. That first half, they really stepped up. They could have given up a touchdown. Keon Coleman fumbled on their own 10, and that only resulted in a field goal. I mean, they really did step up at times, but you have a couple of plays there, and then you factor in a couple of the plays the Bills didn't make. You have a couple of additional turnovers, the penalties. You're going to lose more often than not when you're having the other team make additional plays that you're leaving on the table, plus you're making all the additional mistakes.
It's one of those situations where you just have to just let it be. Like, we didn't play well. It's over and done with. How they bounce back the following week, that's going to be crucial on how you want to judge this team.
Right.
Judge them on a loss all you want, but how do you bounce back? Now, if you come back and you do the same old nonsense again, that's when we have a problem. That's when we have a big problem. So how do we learn from this? And this is where everyone has got to be, everybody's bought in. You know, they're bought in. We know how to win. It's just that sometimes Josh is not going to be on all the P's and Q's, man. And somebody else is going to have to make a play. So it can't always be Josh. And we always rely on Josh to do it all. There comes a time where you just can't rely on Josh. Somebody else makes something happen. And it didn't happen today. And the plays were done by the opposite team. And truth be told, they didn't have a great game themselves. It's just playmakers stood up and made a play. Christian Gonzalez. Let me tell you something. When Josh rolled out, when he was waiting, and he cut back inside, and usually we know that's going to be a completion, Christian Gonzalez made a beautiful play batting the ball down. I think the ball was going to go to Khalil Shakir. That's a great
that's
play.
the one where you could really question if he got there a little early or not. But yeah, didn't get called. So sure as hell is a great play. Damn right.
I don't think he got there early. I think it was right on time. And it's just our guy didn't come for the football enough. And it was just a great play. Great play made by Christian Gonzalez. That's a good corner. That's a great corner. Name the corners that were great that we played other than Christian Gonzalez. Was there a great corner in Baltimore? Heck no. You're playing against a Marlon Humphrey and Jair Alexander that shouldn't have played that game. Then you go against Sauce Gardner and whoever the heck that was. That was just a beatdown. We didn't even have to throw the football. Who's the corner against who's Miami's corners that you're like, oh yeah, that guy's nice? None. Right? Go to the Saints. What corner out there in the Saints is doing great? The rookie Sangster made a great play. Other than that, nothing. You went up against a baller corner in Christian Gonzalez. You saw what took place. We didn't win enough battles. We did not win enough battles in order for us to get the win. So listen, we learn from a loss like this. It's a tough one. I hate losing to the Patriots because I can't stand them. I don't care how bad the Patriots are. I want to beat the Patriots at all times. But we didn't get the job done. And now we've given them fuel. Now they have fuel. Now they're like, yo, we're 3-2. Yo, we got them next time. They think they got this division locked up. They think they got it locked up. These boys are fueled up. And you know what? Give it to them, man. They had a good game plan for us. Rico is a Pat fan? Hell no, I'm not a Pats fan. I'll never be a Pats fan. They had a good game plan for us, man. And we didn't execute. They did. And they got the job done. They got the job done. I was so hoping that Josh was going to get the ball back with at least 50 seconds left. I was like, all right, let's see what this guy's made of. But 12 seconds.
Dude, when they had Drake May in their grasp there, I thought it was going to happen. I really did. When they had Drake May wrapped up there and he somehow got rid of that ball. Oh, my God.
Well, listen, man, a loss is a loss. A loss is a loss.
You said it. How do they bounce back? You know, because they're in prime time yet again next week, and that's a team that can run the football with an elite wide receiver. That's going to be about. I mean, that's going to be a bigger prove it game to me than it recently was, right? Because I think that's a team that is capable of doing what the Patriots kind of did to you tonight, offensively at least. You mentioned it, Drake London and then Bijan Robinson on the ground. I mean, New England didn't even run the football tonight, Rico. Really? New England didn't run the football. They had 70 yards. Drake May beat him.
Let me ask you something. Should Josh just stick to checking down, taking what the defense gives him, in order for us to consistently get those wins. It may not be sexy, but it gets the wins. But then we have instances where we're like, bro, sometimes we're gonna have to go deep at one point. We're just gonna keep taking what the defense gives us. Are we that offense? Are we gonna be that team? Should we just, because the last 2 games, Josh has now tried to go deep several times and it hasn't worked out. So should he go back? Should we go back to the conservative, take what the defense gives Josh Allen and keep it rolling if it's going to get us the W's? And this question goes to the chat as well, right? Are we content with that? Are we done with, forget about trying to go deep, man. We don't have the weapons for that. So let's just not bother. Let's just take what the defense gives us. If it's intermediate, 10, 15 yards, it moves the chains, keep it that way. We'll milk the clock. We'll run the football. As long as we don't turn the football over, we should be all right. Are you okay with that formula? Or do you want us to, here and there, take some shots down? Take some shots down deep. We need that. What are your thoughts on that?
The Bills need to do whatever they need to do to win the football game. I've said this before. They don't need to do anything additional beyond what's winning them football games. That's why I couldn't stand that second drive of the game offensively tonight, where they ran 2, just like seeming like it was almost like it was corner pylon fade routes along both sides of the sideline. I just didn't understand it. The first drive they had out of the second half was exactly what they need to be doing. Exactly that. That's what you're referring to right there. It was just clean, concise, go down the field, incrementally get in the end zone type football. That's what's been winning them football games. The first half tonight is where they lost the game. I mean, that's really where they lost it. They had 3 points in the first half. And I can't remember the last time the Bills have gone a full first half without putting a touchdown on the board. That to me is where they really did lose it, because you saw what they were capable of in the second half on that first drive, and they didn't do that once. Really, they didn't do that once in the first half. Once.
It's tough, man. It's like, and I hate doing post games are post games. You obviously want to do post game when the team wins. It's tough when you lose because we get overly critical, but that's what happens in losses. Like when I've played sports my own self, I get overly critical on myself. You played some lacrosse back in the day. You play sports, you get overly critical if you haven't played well or you lost the game. You're like, yo, where could I have done better? So like as a fan that watches the game, you're like, you're overly critical. But then is it a pattern? And I haven't seen enough from this receiving core that's got me confident in this super receiver. And it sounds wild that I'm saying this because like we've been winning, we've been doing some good things lately. We're putting up 30 points with ease. And sometimes we've said it, dude, we put up 30 points. Like, did it feel like we put up 30 points? No, but we did. So here we are. So I just feel like we're just one speed piece away from really, really making a difference on this offensive side of the ball. Somebody just said, get Gabe Davis in here. Well, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to do that just yet. But I'm sure that Bean is going to be monitoring everything, because having Elijah Moore, interestingly enough, benched to bring in Curtis Samuel and no Codrington on top of that. They're tinkering. I get it. You're tinkering with the offense. You're trying to figure some things out, but golly, there were some moments. And Laura, you're right, man. There were some quiet people today, right? Bosa was extremely quiet, too quiet for my liking, right? Greg Rousseau, and I have to watch how I say it, because there were moments where I watched Greg flush out the quarterback. I watched him make a tackle. He was actually better than I was saying, but I also need him to be a closer. Get after the quarterback, sack the quarterback. That was that first great game, great series that he had, tackle for loss and sacks the quarterback. I'm like, Greg Rousseau's back. Nope. I need more from him. I need more from Bosa. It's just this like, dude, Landon Jackson, you were supposed to come in here and be a difference maker. No, not even. So overly critical, maybe, because of the loss. But at the end of the day, those are the things that stood out today. So hopefully you want to see this team bounce back from it. So that's the hope at the end of the day, that you want these things to happen. And that we got to sit on that for a minute. We got to sit on that until next week, until we play the Atlanta Falcons. And then we go from there. So Atlanta Falcons should be a game that we come in and avenge this loss and really come out back on top, because after that, then we got the bye week and then we're back against the Chiefs. So this is an interesting stretch we're going through. Very interesting stretch.
Yeah, and it just didn't really feel. That's the other problem too. Is I feel like we all really penciled in an undefeated start into the bye. That's the other thing that really sucks too, and that's on us. Anticipating wins before they come. But it just felt like the Bills were set up to really have that type of start going into the bye, and now they don't. Now next week is just huge. You can't, because you look at some of these teams like the Chargers. Everyone was talking highly of the Chargers, 3-0 to start the year, beating the Chiefs week 1. Right, 3 straight divisional wins. Then they lose back-to-back. I mean, they got rolled by the Commanders today. They lose a bad game last week to the Giants. Now all of a sudden, they're 3-2. Right, you blink and everything's like, whoa, what the hell happened here? That's why next week is so big now. All of a sudden, it felt like you were going to have the ability to bake in some of these cushions post-bye when it got tougher. Now you drop this one, and it feels like you really can't afford another one of these because they didn't have a single one of these types of losses last year, Rico, and they still didn't get the 1 seed. Right?
Facts.
You can't rely on the Chiefs to blow it, or you can't rely on these other teams to stack losses. You got to go and take it. And you saw the Chiefs last week destroy Baltimore, and I know Baltimore looks terrible right now, but we'll see. Tomorrow, all of a sudden, if the Chiefs beat Jacksonville tomorrow, then all of a sudden they're 3-2, and then you have the Bills go into next week in a game where you're playing one of the best running backs in the NFL and whatever else, and it's Monday night, and say you have another one of these types of games, well, then boom, all of a sudden, where you were just a couple of hours ago minus 225 to get the 1 seed, boom, things change quick. So I think next week is just massive now. Not that every game isn't, but it just feels huge now because you go into that bye. If you find a way to drop next week, almost the entire month of September, doesn't it feel like, I don't even know how to describe it. It would almost be like it was erased going into the bye week 4-2.
I can already tell you right now, the whole league is looking at Buffalo like, man, y'all ain't ish. You guys aren't nothing. Like, I saw that display of football against the Patriots. Now, mind you, the Patriots needed this win badly, right? They didn't want to go to 2-3, being multiple games behind the Bills. It just couldn't happen. This was a game they needed. This was a statement they needed to make, and they made their statement. Prime time on the road in Buffalo with their rivalry jerseys, all that good stuff. They're undefeated. This is a game that you go in and make a statement. And they did. They made a great statement. So now we're going to find out how the Bills bounce back. How resilient are these Bills? You're going to lay down? I certainly know they're not going to lay down. That's for damn sure. Now, here's a question for you. Looking at what this defense, and that's not even, the defense didn't play so bad today. It wasn't really them. But they did allow 330 points, 330 yards of offense. But anyway, you're looking at the defense, and you put that clip up of Trey White just looking absolutely lost. I thought when we signed him, he was cooked from the beginning. I didn't like the signing, but I knew that they brought him in to compete, and that he did. And you got it by default, if you will, because obviously Hairston's hurt. Do you think they rush Hairston back because of how, I guess, cooked, I'm going to use the word for the lack of a better word, cooked Trey White looks in coverage? Because this certainly wasn't his first game that he didn't look good, causing penalties. Last game, he did the same thing, giving up penalties. He did it, I think, in the Miami Dolphins game, did the same thing. Bro, it's just not there for him. So do they rush Max Hairston back? Would you rush Hairston back, or just let him ride it out until Max is ready to go, and then hopefully we can ease him back in? What are your thoughts on that part?
I don't know. It was a rough showing from the corners tonight. Didn't it feel that way? It just felt like there were 3 or 4 moments where Tre'Davious White was really behind the 8 ball. And Stefon Diggs just had a vintage night tonight and allowed Drake May to have his best game as a pro. I don't know. Does rushing him back make it any better, though? That's the thing. That's the thing. And you don't want to do that either. With the Kaiir Elam experiment underneath your belt already, you do not want to have any reason for this to get off on the wrong foot. And it's already gotten off on the wrong foot with him being injured as it is. You can't force him out there if he's not ready. And we've talked about this. even if he is ready, how ready is he? He really didn't get any reps in the preseason, like or in training camp. Like he really hasn't gotten any reps. He hasn't gotten any ability to get to NFL speed yet. So I don't know if it really does. I don't know if it's going to be a. Yeah, I agree.
I just hope they don't rush him back because it's panic. Good, because then you've given up on Trey White. You've given up on him, and now you want Harrison back. So I mean, and then it doesn't help that Dorian Strong is hurt and he's on the injured reserve because he's a better man-to-man corner. So we lost that part. So now could the Bills be looking at another corner to bring in? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, this play right here by the Patriots was you got to give them credit. This play was a heck of a play by the New England Patriots. Why Drake made, because this was nasty from him. And
yeah,
dude, nasty work. And we're coming. Look at Benford screaming off a corner blitz.
That's the thing. It just felt like they were a day late and a dollar short on a ton of defensive plays. Like they really were right there on so many different occasions.
Yep.
Oh man. This
that's a tough one. It's a tough one. Tough one to go with. But here we are. The Bills take a loss today. I mean, sometimes losses like this are ones you need to propel you and know where you need to clean your act up. So this is what we want to see. Some guys are saying trade for Tariq Woolen. We'll see. We'll see how that all shakes out. But then, Bean's like, oh, we don't got the money, or we're good here. Are we good? Are we though? Because it doesn't seem like it. How long is Dorian Strong going to be out? How much time do you want to give? I mean, did he have a setback in Max Harrison? Like, is he not ready yet? It's just one of those things, man. Good game by Drake May. Good game by Patriots. Diggs had a hell of a game today, and he cooked us, bro. He cooked us. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. Not a whole lot. Anything else you want to share before we jump into super chats? Because this game was a humbling loss. I think that's the best way to look at it. This was a humbling loss to say you guys ain't ish. You stink. Your ish don't stink, and you guys can get beat at any time. You get beat at any time. So here we are. So
I'm so bummed.
I know, man. You see, this is what makes me don't like the Patriots. This is what makes me not like the Patriots. Look at Kevin Boutte. F them Bills. Woo, I'll tell you right now. Listen, if you're not pissed off as a Bills fan watching all this nonsense, the next time they come in, wax them. You know what? I'm glad they lost this game. I'm actually glad they lost this game, because now ain't nothing sweet. Ain't nothing sweet out here, man. And we look sweet today. Ain't nothing sweet. So the next time we play these fools, man, knock them into next week, man. Bust their heads. All right, no more games, man. Oh, I hate the Patriots, bro. I'm telling you. Woo-wee. Anyways.
My biggest frustration with this is, like, the problem with the losses and even with the wins now anymore with this team is it's just like, what's it going to be in the postseason? That's all it is anymore. Right? Like, you don't look at that loss. You don't look at that win last week against the Saints and say, what does that mean for the Patriots game the following week? I don't know if you look at this loss and say, what does this mean for the Panthers game, post-bye, or the Falcons game this upcoming week? It's just every game you watch and you wonder, this is what sucks the life out of you. It's just, is this what's going to be the demise in 2 months from now or whatever? My only thing that I cling to right now, and even though it's 4-1, it's not even like it's 3-2, honestly, like I get it. The only thing that's super weird to me right now that I'm just kind of finding some sort of silver lining in, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know who's really good in this league right now. I really, really don't. This has been a very interesting start to the year. It really is. It really has. I don't know who's really, really good in the NFL right now. Like, honest to God, right now, I think there's an argument that the Indianapolis Colts are the best team in the NFL. I think there's an argument right now that the Tampa Bay Bucks are the best team in the NFL. I think Baker Mayfield's the MVP of the league right now. And I don't know what the hell to make of this entire season up until this point. I mean, you just go ahead and look at the standings right now and like, is Jared Goff the MVP right now? Are the Lions the best team in the league?
That's Baker Mayfield, baby.
I think Baker Mayfield's the MVP right now.
Hell yeah.
I genuinely do. I think nobody's playing better football right now than Baker Mayfield. The guy has 4 game-winning drives in 5 games. So I'm just looking across the league, and the Bills are still at 4-1 atop of the AFC. And I don't know if tonight makes them look inferior to anybody else. I don't know if anybody has really looked superior to anybody else. And I know, Dan's saying it's been 5 weeks. No one is good after Thanksgiving. You'll see who the best teams are. I don't know. This has a weird feeling to it. And I see what you're saying. Usually it does feel like the mark of demarcation is typically Thanksgiving, where you start to see. But that, of course, it goes without saying because you're a month away from the postseason. I get all that. But through a full month, that's a good sample size, 5 games. Every team's had a stinker. The Bills up until this point didn't. I mean, they had moments where they didn't look good, but they had won. Every team has laid an egg, every single one of them. And every team has also showed moments where you're like, ooh, like, is this the team that's going to be destined to do something this year? And then all of a sudden, like, what the hell was that? This team. So,
well, listen,
it's hard to draw a ton of anything right now, really, across the league.
Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes you just got to look at it for what it is. Drake May outplayed Josh Allen today. The Patriots outplayed the Bills. That simple.
Yeah.
They came in and handled business. Go back to Josh's rookie year. Was it the rookie year where the Vikings were supposed to obliterate the Bills? And Josh Allen hurdling Anthony Barr and putting himself on the map. That was the game that they put himself on the map. Like, yo, we got to start paying attention to this Josh Allen kid. This guy's a real deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This was Drake's May moment. Drake May's moment was going on primetime with a 5-time defending AFC East champs, and he came in and handled business. Sometimes it's just what it is. We got outplayed. The quarterback on the other team played better than the quarterback that we root for. Simple as that.
And I'm seeing people disagree with that. I just don't. I mean,
it's
dude,
it's what took place.
I'm sorry.
Drake
yes,
May outplayed Josh Allen. There's no debate.
The guy balled out tonight.
There's no debate. And the crazy part is he didn't score any touchdown passes.
Well, that's why people
right. Don't buy into that. He made the right plays, right time, and allowed his team to capitalize. Period. He drove his team down, got him to make a field goal, and Bob's your uncle. That's it. They outplayed us. Quarterback outplayed the other quarterback. Simple as that. Now we just got to come back and get to it. Get to it. Simple as that. Done and done. And people they need to be bothered by this loss. Be bothered enough that you come back next week polished. And if you don't, then obviously changes got to be made because it's perfect timing because week 8, I think week 8 is the trade deadline. If you ain't got it, I'm gonna start expressing myself at the trade deadline. And then that's how we're going to get better. As a GM, that's what I got to do. It's as simple as that, man. You try to dissect and look at, we got beat. The Bills got beat. They got outplayed. They got out hustled, and they wanted it more. We looked good, though, in that uniform, didn't we? The whiteout jerseys, they looked great.
They did. They did look great. They did look great. I see a lot of shitting on the jerseys, and I don't like it. Those were honestly, some sweet unis.
On TV, it looked like a regular, a white uniform, clean white uniform. When you see people wearing it, all right, it's cool. I think we overhyped it a lot, but they're still nice jerseys. Don't get me wrong, and it looked good. It was nice to see our team in different unis. But I'm also okay with going back to the old uniform. I'm like, let's look the part and let's whoop some ass. But jerseys look good. Jerseys look good.
Here's my coping, right? Bills should have lost to Baltimore. So if they're 6-1 going into Kansas City, then I can live with this, I guess. I know it's a tall ask, 2 more victories.
Yeah, it is.
2 more
I can live with
victories.
this. We're going to, yeah, but you know what?
But I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. I was at that game Thursday night. Rams, Niners. They were a 7.5 point favorite. The Rams. The Niners are 4-1 now. How? Drake, Mac Jones, baby. Mac Jones is undefeated. Mac Jones is undefeated in the NFL in 2025. Okay, and you know what's weird about the Rams is they're 3-2, right? They're 3-2, second in the division. Yep. And this is where I go back to this league being insanely odd right now. Like that game felt very similar. Actually, that was almost identical. It was a 3-point game. It almost had the exact same final score. And the superior team found a way to mess up every opportunity. It felt like to put the inferior team away. Yep. And the inferior team had their quarterback step up and ball out. And sometimes that's just how it goes in this league. The thing is, I think once again, the toughest part for us to swallow in this game, I think it really has been since the last time the Bills lost at home that you felt like this. The last Bills home loss in the regular season was the Broncos Russell Wilson game. Too many men on the field.
Was that how long ago it has been?
That's how. See, this is what I'm saying. Like this is why this feels like a little worse than usual, because the Bills haven't lost a game like this in a really long time. And that game, you felt like the Bills were the better team. They were the superior. They had the superior quarterback. They didn't have a single loss like this all year last year. This is why this hurts a little more than I think than it typically would.
Let me add to that why it feels like this. It also feels like this because going into halftime against the Saints last week, the score was 14-10. And we're like, what the heck is going on? Like we're letting and the Saints were getting the ball back to start the half. So like we're like, okay, whoa, we don't like what's happening. So it already started last week with how sloppy and not we didn't look like we were a contending team. We got the win, but we were supposed to get the win. It's the Saints, but we didn't confidently look good, right? So this is why a game like this that happened today, you're like, we lost, but you know what? Let's look back. We didn't really look good last week either, so this was almost inevitable. So at the end of the day, listen, loss is a loss. You got to take it, and hopefully this team bounces back next week, ready to roll, ready to kick some butt, and then we'll be back on track, ready to say, yo, Chiefs Bills week, let's go. But we got to get there first. We gotta get a win and go into the bye week, and then get ready for the Chiefs. So that should be fun. Should be fun. Actually, is that what we have? We got the Falcons.
No, it's the Panthers off the bye.
Oh, it's the Panthers off the bye. So we got Falcons next week.
Yes, Monday Night Football.
And then we got what after that?
Bye week, Panthers.
Bye week, Panthers, then Chiefs?
Yes.
Okay, that's how it works. All right, well then we got and listen, ain't nobody telling us that the Chiefs game, the Panthers game is gonna be a walkthrough. They just put some points up on the Dolphins. So like you said, this is a weird game, weird week, but guess what? This is parity. I like it this way where nobody's above so much people. Everybody's just kind of listen.
I don't. I want to be above everybody. This is a cruel ass league. This is a cruel ass league right now because
be realistic. You know,
it's just terrible. Now I'm terrified. You know, like yesterday, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, and I told you what it kept feeling this way. When's the other shoe gonna drop? Because it felt like everything was just going right for Buffalo. I mean, even today it did again. Miami loses again. Who cares about the rest of the division because it's just so bad? But they all lose. The Chargers lose again. It's an interesting. I'll just say this. It is interesting to say the least right now, league-wide. Interesting as hell.
Are you one that is, before we get into super chats and reading some comments, are you one that, and I've seen this multiple times and I refuse to go there. Are you one that's like, oh, these refs were horrible. They were terrible. Like, that's why we lost, because of the refs. Are you in that camp? Or are you like, no, we lost because we didn't play well enough? Where are you at?
It's not why they lost. I didn't think it was a particularly greatly officiated game, though. I certainly didn't. I don't think it's the reason why the Bills lost, but there were a couple of penalties that I looked at that I was just kind of like, I mean, even, you know, Listen, anytime there's a game with almost 200 total yards of penalties, because it wasn't just the Bills, by the way. I think New England had, what did they have in this game? I think they had 10 penalties on their own.
They had nine
yeah,
penalties.
okay. Yeah, so like to me, anytime you're watching primetime football, I mean, anybody watching this game who wasn't a Bills or Patriots fan, including my friends who kept texting me all game, that was just a bad football game. That was just a bad football game on both ends. Now, is that conducive to playing poorly? Yes. But I also think there was just flags being thrown relentlessly. I'm not sitting here saying the Bills lost because of it. I don't think that's the reason why they did lose. But I just thought it was an overly officiated football game. I absolutely did. How about you?
Listen, the officiating was I didn't mind the officiating. Like we because it wasn't like egregious calls. It was just us being silly, right? False starts, illegal formations, not getting up to the line in time. Like what? Bernard taking that 15-yard penalty, just stupid, dumb penalties like that. And it was self-inflicting. It wasn't like they were after us. No, it was us being stupid, and they called these plays. It's just what it was. So I'm not gonna. And the same thing happened to the freaking Patriots. So I'm not gonna sit here and blame the refs. I won't. I just can't. And I won't. When you're an athlete, man, like when you play sports, you don't go in this thing unless they did something such an egregious call. I ain't trying to hear that. That was pass interference on Shakir. No, it wasn't. That's a bang.
Well, that's
play.
the thing, though. They were calling
bang,
it pretty.
Play.
They were calling it pretty ticky tack all night, and I think that's when you get frustrated when they don't call something like that. I think that might be the reason for the frustration, I guess. When you call 20 penalties in a game and then you don't call that, I think that might be where the frustration comes from.
But the 20 penalties were off us being stupid and idiots and not being disciplined. So I'm not going to reward you. Yo, and on top of that, he's known to let, you know what I mean, when the game gets a little late, lets the game play. Hercules is known to be ticky-tacky with false starts and all those things. And I follow, if you guys don't follow referee stats or something like that, they give us the goods on what this officiating crew is going to be like. And everything that took place today was exactly what took place. And third down, you're not going to call that play because it's got to be egregious, and it wasn't. We just didn't play well enough, and that's just what we are. We are who we were today, and we just need to be better. We absolutely need to be better. Now, we do have some super chats to get to, folks. We do, so bear with us. Bot, did you have anything else to share before we got into these super chats, other than us not playing well enough?
No, I'm just pissed off. I'm just pissed off. Just a
bask in it.
Yeah,
bask in it. Well, listen, I got a big shout out to give out to Pat Socks. This is Melissa. We met Melissa at the Thursday night game.
Yes, we did.
It was her and Mike from Arizona.
Yep, they just got engaged. Congrats to those two.
Absolutely. So it's Melissa in Arizona. Met you guys at the Thursday night. Please give a special shout out to my fiance, Mike. Mike Mafia BF superfan. My heart hurts when his does. You're reading this live is the only thing that will make him smile for a second tonight. Here's the deal: what people don't realize, she's a Patriots fan, and she's trying to convert to become a Bills fan. So she's Melissa is joyous today, but also she feels for her man. So it's like a double-edged sword. So you know what to do. Go make him feel good, girl. Go make him feel good. He'll feel better. He'll be all right. But big shout out to my girl, Miss Melissa.
Yeah, you guys are the best. And chin up, Mike, because I'm just as pissed as you are. I'm not gonna smile all week. So I'm with you. Yeah,
food ain't gonna taste good, man. It ain't gonna taste good.
I'm not even gonna eat.
My man Dan Echo. What up, Dan? Dan comes in and says, hey, never wear those cursed jerseys again.
Stop it.
We look like Dallas Cowboys. D had a great first half, to be honest. Offense had their chances despite looking snake bit. Diggs revenge tour 2.0. KC closing gap on the number 1 seed. McDermott trash timeout. They were talking about that timeout. I must have missed
Which
it.
one?
Was there a crucial timeout that I might have missed? I may have walked away because I don't remember a crucial timeout in that. But Dan Echo is saying, not pleased. Didn't like the jerseys. He's saying, get those jerseys away from us. We don't want that trash no more. And I've seen some mixed results.
Let me just say this. I knew this was going to happen. And Dan, I love you. You show so much love. And it's not just you. I just knew this was going to happen. If the Bills would have won this game 30-0, we need to wear these jerseys every week. I'm telling you right now, if they don't bust out the rivalries next week, then I don't know what we're gonna do. And if we lost, I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, this. Here's what they need to do. Here's what they need to do. They need to wear the red helmet with the 90s vintage uniform, go out and roll. That's what they need to do to avenge all of this. All of it. Not in week 18, by the way. Not in week 18. I knew this was going to happen. This is why I'm even more pissed, because now these jerseys are tainted. Everyone's going to link these jerseys to this, and I'm pissed about it.
Well, and I got to say this too. Let's not forget, guys, the Patriots have been the butt of jokes. We got t-shirts made of the perfect game where we didn't punt once. Josh Allen was just diming these guys left, right, center. They were the butt of jokes for a long time. So there's going to be a moment that they get to have the reverse. They get their lick back. And today was the day that they got their lick back. So
no, they don't get to have their lick back. They don't get to have. We are coming again. We are coming again.
Oh, yeah.
We are coming to. We have to avenge.
No doubt.
Heavily.
No question.
New England later on in the year on the road. Heavily. Circle it. I am so pissed right now.
I'm with you. And when do we play these guys again? We play them.
Not soon enough.
Yeah. Because I'd love to play these guys soon. No, we don't play them for a while. So we got some time. We got some time to get back to them. Who do we got? We got Moose Perk coming in with a super chat. Appreciate that. Moose Perk. And he goes, it took the worst half from Buffalo, just 3 points, to a difference of -2 and lopsided officiating for the Pats to win by just 3. We're good. A lot of stuff we need to clean up, though, but he says we're good. Let's not panic. You know what I'm saying? We lost, we lost by 3, and it was like a last-second field goal to really do that. So they really had to really put that effort in to beat the Bills when we didn't play at our best. So I guess it's a bit of a silver lining you can look at in that regards, where we didn't play our best, and it took them all the way up to at the end of their last-second field goal to beat us and leave us essentially no time. So I can rock with that. What are your thoughts on that, Z? You good?
With just it's just 3 points thing? No, because the last week it was because I think that's just no, because there was never a world where they were going to get rolled tonight. I mean, that's what's even more frustrating about this game. As poorly as they played, it still was just 3 points. That's what's so frustrating about it. As poorly as they played, they still could have won the game if they just got a first down on that final drive there, or if they sacked Drake May. Exactly. That's what's so frustrating. I've always been on this. I'd much rather lose like they did last year to Baltimore. Beat them 44-10. Beat the shit out of them 44-10. I'd much rather lose that way than this. These losses kill me. Because all you're going to do tonight is you're going to sit there and be like, if Drake May if his knee was an inch lower, if they call the pass interference on Shakir, or if Shakir just catches it, or if they get a first down there, or if they score a touchdown on that drive, or if they sack Drake May before he gets back to the line of scrimmage, or if the rookie kicker misses the kick, yada, yada, yada. That's what I hate about these games.
Facts.
In the game last year against Baltimore, you stare at the ceiling and you go, holy hell, they got their ass kicked. That's all you can say. That's all you got.
That's all you got. You're right about that. We got NV Mafia comes in with a super chat. Appreciate that. NV goes, boys, please give me a reason to believe in this team. And don't say it's just one loss. We've looked horrible all season, and I'm starting to have serious doubts. I will say we have not looked horrible all season, but we've had some games where you're like, okay, I see that we could, when we face a good team, we're gonna see what this team is really made of. And today, that's exactly what took place. We faced a better team, and things did not go our way, and they pushed us right to the end. So the silver lining in this is like, dude, we didn't play our best, and we were within 3 points. So I don't like the whole it's just one loss, because I hate that type of conversation. But we didn't play great, and if we got the ball back, we were one drive away from really putting this game away, and we would have been like, man, an ugly win's an ugly win, is what we would have said. So you got to take the L's. I don't think it's as bad as we may make it seem. I think it's once you start looking at the stuff and seeing where we went wrong and so on and so forth, it'll be better. But it was just fundamental stuff, man. The turnovers, the penalties, the missed tackles, the things that we know what to do. We didn't get blown out. It's just we got to fix our own issues. I mean, I don't know if you want to share anything else on that. I can move on to the next one, but that's the way I look at it.
What I would share is we didn't lose to that wasn't a better team. They were better tonight. That's the frustrating thing. They're not better than the Buffalo Bills, but they were better than the Buffalo Bills tonight. That to me is a fact. And I think that to many people's dismay, no pun intended, Drake May was better tonight. He made made one less mistake and he made a couple of bigger plays. I mean, that was just the way it went. The Bills are not an inferior team to New England, but tonight they were. And I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Great way to put it. My man, Thomas comes in and says, Tomas, he goes, we're fine, guys. We took 10 penalties, 3 turnovers, and crazy plays to beat us by 3. But this defense needs Max to be good because Trey is done. Side note, wish Diggs had the energy against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I mean, at that point, I bet you Diggs was checked out. He was checked out, and he probably saw the way the offense was going, and it didn't seem like he was involved. Who knows? I'm making this stuff up as we go because we have only speculation. But at the end of the day, you're right, man. These penalties will get you. Turn the ball over, have penalties, have no discipline, and we only lost by 3 on a last-second field goal. I mean, sometimes you can just take a loss and we'll learn from it. It wasn't as bad. So I totally get what you're saying. Totally.
Did you think he was going to make it?
Yeah, I knew it.
Me too.
Like, it's like today, back in the day, 50-yard field goals were like big deal. 50 is like a 40-yarder. Now it's like these guys are
50. It's an extra point, dude. The 70+ yarders coming. Like that's where it's heading.
It's coming soon. The kicker from the Dallas Cowboys, he's probably going to be the one to do it.
Aubrey, he's unreal.
Yeah, man, these 50-yard field goals, these are like now 40, 35 to 45. That's what a 50-yard field goal is nowadays. Like these kickers are earning their money. What a great rule change to move that extra point because that was just a gimme. It was a gimme. So no, we're gonna make it hard for you guys, and now it's made these guys a better kicker. I was hoping that he was just gonna shank it, and then we'd see, okay, here come the Bills, but no dice, no dice whatsoever. Taldeem says we have no idea who our team is. I think we have somewhat of an identity of who the team is, but I can understand if people say we don't know who our team is because we're probably still trying to figure ourselves out. And if you want to say, well, he's still getting used to his receivers and then I don't buy that. But because you went with the receivers that you hardly knew and you won a Super Bowl. You won a Super Bowl. You won your MVP last year. So in this case, do we know who we are? I think we do because we have the same head coach, same everything. Everything's the same. It's just we're not executing. When you execute, we're good. And what it should tell you is that we're a balanced team. 30 touchdowns on offense, right? 30 in the air, 30 on the ground. We're balanced offensively. Defensively, we just need to be, we tighten up a little bit. So, we're more of a balanced team. We're not heavier here and heavier there. We're just a balanced team that we do all things pretty good. That's the way I look at it. I don't know if you look at it any different.
I'm struggling to know exactly what this team is right now, too. I really am. And this is kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier with the league. I'm struggling to know what anybody really is in the league right now.
Should you this early, though? Should you? I don't think you should. It's too early.
You think it is? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're about a third of the way through the season. I don't know if it is too early.
I think it's too early because listen, we just finished the first month of football, right? So now we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of people trying to discover themselves. What you truly are. I truly think a team knows who they are by week 12, week 13, 14.
Well, I would hope.
You tweak by then going into the playoffs. Right now, you're just trying to figure things out, man. So to try to find your identity this early, that'd be impressive if you could. But I think it's too soon for that. Way too soon. That's just my opinion, though. What's Richie Fresh saying? Richie, we play it like an entitled team. I may be in the minority, but I saw flashes of rookie Allen throwing in double coverage, not taking easy 5-yard checkdowns. I don't know, fellas. What are your thoughts? What do you think Richie's saying? You think that Josh Allen looked like old Josh Allen?
Well, I like the word he used there, entitled. That's kind of how I felt tonight. You know how I mentioned earlier, it felt like the Patriots, this was a big moment for them and they rose to the occasion. It did feel like tonight for the Bills, it was yep, this is just another primetime game for us. We'll roll out there. We'll find a way to get it done. It did feel a little bit entitled tonight. It did feel like, oh, we're just going to figure it out. And they didn't end up figuring it out. They ran out of time. They ran out of the ability to figure it out. So in a way, I feel like entitled might be the right word there. It did feel like the Bills maybe felt they were entitled to getting this victory. Maybe it kind of felt like that the last couple of weeks. You know, we're going to roll the Saints. We're going to roll the Dolphins. And to their credit, they wound up getting victories there. Maybe this is the silver lining in this game where that entitlement goes away. Hey, you're not just going to walk out there and win. Not that I'm saying that I think that they go out there thinking that, but maybe sometimes it does take that slap across the face to realize any one of these teams can beat you on any given week, no matter how good you are. And I think maybe some of that entitlement does settle in when you haven't lost a game at home in what was 14 consecutive games. I mean, when I told you the last loss was that Broncos Russell Wilson game, you were like, wow, I can't, right? And I think most people would say that. So maybe there's something to that. Now, if they go out next week and just roll Atlanta, it's going to make you feel almost good about this loss, right? Where you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe, you always go back to when Tyler Dunn wrote that article about McDermott. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just felt like that team had a little juice, right? Got rid of Ken Dorsey, felt like that team had a little bit of juice. They hadn't had a loss like this last year. And maybe this is the juice they get this year that they do something with. I have no idea, but I feel like there has to be something to gain from this because they found out tonight that they can't just stroll out and beat an inferior team just because they went out there and almost just went out there and kind of did whatever they wanted to get to the victory. Sometimes you're going to have to really go out and do more than maybe what you thought was necessary in order to get it.
It's entitled. I don't know if I want to call them entitled, but I do understand this the angle you're taking, and I'll side with it for now. I really want to see
maybe
how they bounce tomorrow next week.
Yeah, maybe entitlement's a bit too harsh. I think it's harsh. It is. I think it's more so expected, maybe, Rico.
Yeah.
Playing like a team that expects to win. And I think that that's probably what they should think. But sometimes you got to do a little bit more than I think what would have been expected for Buffalo to win tonight. Yeah. And that's what I think happened.
Expecting to win is one thing, but we didn't expect this play to happen. You expected better play. What do we got here from my man Signified Notes? He says, Rico, I'm going to echo some sentiments that Jets fans are currently asking. Are we overrated? Oh wait, do we overrate the guys on this defense? I don't think we've ever overrated the guys on this defense.
First of all, Signify, what Jets fan is saying anything other than what is going on right now? Will this season please end? Please, for the love of God.
We do not overrate anybody on this defense whatsoever. I think sometimes we get into I think we get caught up in the wins, like how we ended last season, how we did so great and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. I think we get caught up in that regard, but I don't think we overrate any of our players. We get caught up in such a Josh Allen hoopla because he's going to will us to victory and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. Bro, I don't think we're there. So that's the way I look at it. Signified knows we ain't anybody overrating anybody. I think
I know exactly what he's saying. You know how at the end of the year, everybody's always like, no one ever brings up Teron Johnson. No one ever brings up Christian Benford. No one ever brings up Matt Milano. And we do say that. I think that's maybe what he's referring to, where I think maybe Signified is saying right now, is there a reason why other people don't bring these guys up? I think that might be why. The problem is, I think last year, like Benford had an incredible year. I think Teron Johnson was great. I think that there were guys that were overlooked. I think this year, unfortunately, up until this point, the Bills have struggled at the corner position and they've struggled on defense in totality. So I think now it's easy to say these are why these guys aren't talked about that much because really collectively this defense hasn't played great. But once again, tonight, I don't think tonight's the night I look at this team and say the defense needs to figure it out. Was it a great outing? No, but I really do think the Bills defense I just think that they made plays and it's just the Patriots just were a little bit better. I really do.
That's it. The Patriots were better. It's that simple. They made more plays than we did. Sometimes football can be just that simple. I made more plays than you. Me, Stefon Diggs, outplayed every one of you suckers on this defensive back end. Y'all couldn't handle me. Hey, by the way, me, Drake May, I got myself out of the pocket more, and I made dime throws in dime moments. It's just what it is. And I made more plays than your quarterback did. It's that simple. Really
in a weird
simple.
way, this is what the analogy that I had come to mind, and I don't know why, but it's almost like you're bowling, and you feel like you rolled a perfect ball, in that one pin on the right corner. It's wobbling, and then it just sits, and it doesn't fall. It felt like there were so many moments tonight where the Bills had Drake May. He was that last pin to get the strike, and that pin just stayed put. How many times tonight did they have Drake May dead to rights, and the kid made a play? I mean, he just made like 3 or 4 plays tonight that won him the football game. For as many times as we've come on here saying how many, like Josh Allen, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like if the Bills lost to the Ravens week 1. Remember that play Lamar Jackson made, Rico, where he got out of the sack and got the first down? Like, we would have sat here and just been like on that play, like, what are you supposed to do? The guy's an alien. Drake May isn't alien status yet, but once again, he's dude good. Made some plays tonight, no question.
I will say this: that pick that Josh Allen threw was like we were marching.
I know, dude.
We were marching, and we make the plays to get down there and get in the end zone. That changes the landscape of the game. I changed the landscape. That interception was thrown at a bad time. Anyway, Tom St. Clair says, one word, boys: complacent. Repeatedly missing tackles, foolish miscommunications, and glaring tactical oversights are indicative of the overt player and coaching issues that holds this squad back. And those are the very things that you just said, Tom St. Clair, that we'll need to overcome next week. If we can overcome those very things that you just came up with, then great. If we display the very same things you're doing now, then you have every right to say, hey, I need to be concerned. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I don't like what I see. Because right now the memes are going out there. If the Bills are playing the 1-4 Ravens, the 0-5 or 0-4 Jets, 0-5 Jets, and if they're not playing the 1-3 or the 1-4 Dolphins, this is the result that you're going to get. I hate it that they're bringing these things up, but that's what's taking place. That's exactly what's taking place. It sucks, but here we are. We got to change that up. Quick things quickly. Ken Mill says, yo, whose idea was it to wear those Chat GPT made jerseys in the last year of the Ralph? They should be wearing nothing but the real throwbacks, period. Listen, some people agree with you. Kenny, some people agree.
He's right and wrong there.
We got the Say Breeze comes in, says, yo, Benford and White are both bums. Woo! I'll tell you this. Trey White, we already know what time it is with Trey White, right? We knew that him coming back, he's there for depth. If not for the injury to Max Hairston, you'd have Trey White sparingly playing, coming in when we have to do some some quarters defense or dime defense or whatever the case is. This wasn't in the cards. Now, did he compete for the spot and was he going to win it? Who knows? We knew he was competing, but for the most part, speed is what we needed at the corner spot, especially when we're going to be playing guys like Xavier Worthy. That was an issue for us. This is not what we expected. This was not in the cards, but now we are here. We have to deal with it. Now, Benford, on the other hand, I've not been impressed with Benford thus far this year. I know some people are trying to put out film and saying, well, you tackled this guy and he made great tackles here and he made a great stop there. Yeah, but that's great and dandy. But when I need him to lock down the opposing receiver's number one receiver, instead of him staying on Mac Hollins and not really doing the job or getting beat, bro, I need more. I need more from Benford. I'm paying you too much for you to be doing minimal. I need more. And that's the way I look at it. I'm with you. Now, are they both bums? Harsh. I don't know if I can go there. Bums. They didn't have their best day today. Let me be nice and say they didn't have their best day. I'll just keep it at that. What do you thought? Are they both bums, or would you say we'll keep it at that? They just didn't have their best day.
I will say that it's becoming increasingly evident that Tre'Davious White's not having his best day just about every evening, and that's being nice. And that's unfortunate. And here's the problem: we're at the point now where the Bills are relying on Tre'Davious White at this point in his career to have his best day, and that's the problem.
Oh Gosh. Yeah, when you say it like that, then yeah, you're right. You're right about that. My man Eric comes in and says, hey, not an overreaction. Every year we lose in the playoffs due to our defense getting shredded and not having the downfield difference maker for Allen. Yeah, well, I mean, if you saw the start of the season, Josh was just taking what the defense was giving him unless things really opened up, i.e. the Ravens game. Then he really started to go downfield, right? You had Josh Palmer with 6 receptions for like 60 plus yards. Then you had like Keon Coleman for 8 receptions for 112 and a touchdown. So when he wanted to go deep, he did, but he took what the defense gave him until things opened up. So yeah, we didn't play the best, you know what I'm saying, but I wouldn't say it's an overreaction, but I'd give it some time. Give it some time before we can really figure out what we're doing. Now, if you see Bean has brought in several players for receivers or cornerback, know that, okay, he's concerned. So unless he doesn't, maybe he doesn't feel concerned. He feels all right. That's the way I look at it. Wolfgang. What up, Wolfgang? So y'all sound like typical Bills fans when we lose. We lost this game because of turnovers and penalties. How often does this happen? I mean, those are the exact same things we said today. We lost because of those very reasons, and we didn't execute. It's really that simple. Turnovers, penalties, execution. You don't do those 3 things well, you don't deserve to win the game. It's that simple. Wolfgang, you're not far off. We were pretty much bang on what we were talking about. So not many teams can do that and get away with it and get a win. And if you do, you got lucky. Count your lucky stars. Mike Ko or Milo, excuse me. Milo K says, yo, Josh looked like his 22 self today. Concerning. Not so much. I wouldn't say he looked like his 22 self. I declare that the rivalry's jersey is cursed. Dan Bills is not letting it go. He's trying to put a curse on that. You'll probably never see those jerseys again unless it's back.
You'll see him once a year for at least the next 3 years. So buckle in, and we're winning the next time they wear them.
There you go, buddy.
Said it here first.
Hey, we got ourselves a new member?
I think we do. My man Jason.
Shout out to my man Jason. Welcome to the YouTube member squad. I appreciate you, my G. We appreciate you very much. So we got a comment from Alexander, but I think he's going to come back with another comment. So we appreciate that super chat, Alexander. But I think I saw you come up with another one earlier. Josh S. So many underwhelming pieces in areas that we were supposed to have improved. Receiver room and the defense. It's still early. I think guys are still trying to play with each other. Taylor Rapp playing with Cole Bishop. They're learning each other. Christian Benford, Trey White, they're playing. And it sounds like I'm making excuses, but those are the facts as well, right? The defensive front. I mean, take a look at the offensive line. Offensive line have been playing together for 2 years now. Not a whole lot of problems, right? Josh Palmer is the new addition to the offense. He's starting to trying to. I need more from him personally, but you'll see Keon took great leaps. Kincaid, great leaps. So it's not crazy. You're not far off, but you're not bang on either, right? So will areas need to improve? Yes. I think the DB room needs to very much improve, and our tackling needs to improve. It's all the fundamentals. And I hate to even say that, fundamentals, but it is fundamentals, man. You got to learn how to tackle. Stay in your gaps. Stop being undisciplined. Stop taking a stupid flag. Like just dumb stuff that they know better. You're paying way too much to be not knowing better. You got to do better. Teddy, can someone on the team get angry? Like even once, ever? Can one person ever consistently show the fire that Diggs was showing? We don't have that guy. Who do we have that guy? Who is that guy?
I don't know. I don't know if they do have that guy.
I remember saying this last year that we don't have a dog. We need a dog on this team. Where the dogs at? At the time, we were saying Poyer was the dog. And Poyer, you see where Poyer's at right now. So we're like, Poyer was the dog, right? A couple years ago, excuse me. We didn't have a dog. Milano, is he? No, he doesn't say a freaking word. So no, we don't have that person on that team. And some people were like, we don't want it because you're cancer. So, I mean, listen, can't make everybody happy. Can't make everybody happy. Alexander, here we go. No cap, Rico. So sloppy. Yes, we were sloppy today. There's no question about it. We got Bill Stampede coming in. What's Bill Stampede saying here?
Wow, a banger. How about giving a little love to Bill Stampede on the
my man.
Let's go. Bill Stampede said the refs were the factor tonight. It kills momentum, not to mention like 5 holding calls not called on New England. The NFL won tonight. This is crazy that you guys don't say anything about that like it was normal. NFL does try to manipulate the storyline.
I don't ever fall for that. I never have, never will believe that refs have something to do with it. I just can't. I can't bring myself to that, man. There's too many moving pieces for that to take place. Now, if it does, then call me naive, but I just don't buy it. What about you? Do you buy this type of stuff?
I definitely think it kills momentum. That's for sure. But I certainly don't think the Buffalo Bills lost because of penalties tonight. Or I'm not saying they didn't lose because of the refs tonight. If they lost because of the penalties, it was on them for the majority of them. I mean, there was a good amount. There was a couple of them that I thought were ticky-tack. And I'd have to really go back and look to see the ones that really stood out as the ones that I didn't love, because there were a few. But in large part, they were self-inflicted wounds. And both sides, by the way, were getting rained on with flags.
Yeah, they were.
Both sides had nearly 100 yards in penalty yards.
Second half, they were. First half, Bills 7 penalties, 54 yards, zero.
But think about it like this. The Bills get back in the football game because of that drive where they go down to put 17 on the board because of the amount of penalties New England had. They were in the red zone within like 30 seconds because New England had 2 personal foul calls, and they were legitimate calls. Yep. So it's just the way it's the way it goes. And it wound up evening out, I would say, towards the end a little bit.
No question about that. No question. Here we go. We got Alexander coming and says, hey, well said, Bot. And I think he was referring to you when you were talking about McDermott. McDermott always preaches about having a championship mentality. Where the heck was that tonight? That was not there. That was not evident tonight. And I know McDermott knows that as well. There's no way. And I'm sure he gave this team, I wouldn't call it a chewing, but I'm sure we're going to see a different team show up next game. A much more disciplined team. Hambone. The league got the blueprint to beat the Bills tonight. Just get Hercules to call 87 penalties against them. I'm not doing that. I don't know. I just don't see it. We did it to ourselves. False starts, illegal formations, illegal man downfield. I mean, we got Spencer Brown caught downfield. Just bad plays, man. Bad plays from us. That's the way I look at it. Richie Fresh, it needs to be brought up because Pierre did. The timeout McDermott took after Pat's first down at the end of the game killed us. 17 had many times to check down and didn't. If we lose next week, Pats win, we got issues. Josh had moments to take the check down, yes. But you got to live and die with the decisions that Josh makes. Because the ones that you tell him to check down and he doesn't, and he makes a huge play downfield, you're like, thank goodness Josh made that play. So we got to live and die with decisions that Josh makes. And we pay him to make good decisions, good checks at the line. However, I can't dismiss the timeout. I must have missed the timeout that he
I'm
took.
blanking on this too.
Me too. I'm like, I got to go back and watch the game and realize it, because I'm like, ooh, that clearly it's being brought up. So something happened where it ruffled some feathers. So I got to go back and look at the game and when he took that timeout and how crucial it was for us at the end of the day. Alexander, we need both. We need receivers who is fast enough to get over the top and opposing defenses, and we need the ability to dink and dunk. Too bad we don't have a more effective pass rush. The pass rush. The pass rush, you're hoping it'll get there because we have the pieces. We do. And once we're healthy, and this is the silver lining in this, once Ed Oliver returns, Mike Hoyt returns, Ogunjobi returns, right? Once we get all our true pieces back together, healthy, maybe, the pass rush intensifies greatly. But right now, there's a bunch of moving pieces, a lot of moving pieces. We're trying to get there. So we'll see how it all shakes out when everybody's healthy at the end of the day. Big Papa Bill. Brady has to chill out with that gimmick play calling BS. I didn't like the flea flicker, nor did I like the jet sweep. Hated them. I didn't like the back shoulder throw either. I did not like that, whether you call it execution or not. I wasn't a fan of that. There was one more play that I missed that I absolutely hated. What were your thoughts? Play calling was okay with you, or were there some plays, obviously the ones that I mentioned, anything else, or pretty much that?
You hit it, and I think that was a big difference because in the first half, I really thought this is where the Bills lost the game offensively.
Yep. I'm with you on that, man. Alexander, dudes, I was half wishing the Bills would have changed uniforms halftime, bro. They weren't gonna be doing that nonsense. My man Tebow says, "Yo, dude, I love how people are overreacting and blaming coaches. Josh did not play good. I was at the game and missed receivers short on drags and hitches. Hockey League sucks." No question. Josh did not have his best game. Not his best game. He was frustrated at the end. I found him rolling to his right a lot more, not giving enough time. I know the pass rush is a little better for the Patriots, but they weren't that great. I think he could have stayed a little longer, but there was a lot of times he was rolling out, trying to make a little something happen. Anytime he rolls out, it's either a big play or it's a boo-boo. And unfortunately, today we didn't have the big plays, and we had incomplete passes and an interception. Actually, the interception wasn't a rollout, but nonetheless, there was a pick throw. Cameron Hayes, do you think Bean is making moves at the trade deadline next month? And if so, what are our biggest priorities? What do you think, big fella? You want to take that one?
What's out there, or who's out there that they can afford right now that's going to make an impact? I just don't know. Like I don't see it. I don't see this massive move that's going to alter what the Buffalo Bills currently are right now. There's no way.
They'd have to trade for a player that is on the back end of a rookie deal. That's the only way you can do something that's affordable, and then by the next year you can try to make something happen. Other than that, trading for someone that has got a huge contract, we can't afford that. So it's going to come down to a guy on his rookie deal in the fourth year or fifth year, whether it was a first round draft pick or not, right? The fourth or fifth year, third, fourth or fifth year. So and they've given up on them, like a Kyer Elam, but that we think that we can fix. So we'll see. We shall see. By the way, how's your boy Bobby Trossett?
I got to check in on Bobby after today.
Check in on him. Do me a favor, check in on him.
I got to check in on myself first and foremost, though, right now after this one.
Listen, we're almost done, buddy. We're almost done.
And my pregnant wife, who wants me dead right now.
Yeah, so. I'm sure she does. She's like, get to bed now.
Yes.
From my man Blue says, yo, honest question. How many Super Bowls would this team get to? Not win, just get to, if they had a top 3 lockdown defense and a coach like Andy Reid? Probably them all. Seriously. Because we've been knocking at the door. And defense is what's let us down. So I'd probably say we'd probably be at least by 2. At least 2.
Well, I can tell you right now, because the Eagles have already basically done it without Allen, right? They had the best defense and the best offense in the league last year, and they destroyed. So
there you go.
At least one.
That's it. Hambone says, yo, whiteouts are 0-2 this year. Pagula's favorite Penn State as well. Jettison those jerseys into the sun. Ooh, man, they're coming for your Penn State boys, and they're coming for the Bills. Bill Stampede says, yo, I used to be a local sports broadcaster. Trust me, players play against the refs all the time in all sports. It's business after all. Shoot, then call me naive. Call me naive, Bill Stampede, because I always feel like when you play the game, the refs are just trying to do their best and trying to, you know what I mean, come here. But it's big business, so do they have an agenda? Bro, I don't even want to bring myself to do that. But if you feel that you know something, then shoot. Then you got the inside scoop on that. But I don't know, man. It's one of those things where you hope that's not the case. You hope that's not the case. But I mean, we've been wrong many times, so who knows? But man, listen, that's it. There's really not much else to share. We just got to see how this team bounces back. Because really, at the end of the day, folks, losing a game, we're probably gonna like, if you were honest with yourself, you got me speaking with a lisp. If you're honest with yourself, you had this team losing 3, maybe 4 games. I've seen people say 5 games. So this loss to the Patriots, I'm sure we had it at one point that it was a split. We split with the Patriots. So call this a split. You know what I'm saying? We'll get them on the back end. So that's one way to look at it. But at the end of the day, how we look after this loss, going up against the Atlanta Falcons on the road, I think this is an on the road game. That's where we judge this team on what they do. Do they come back and give you back-to-back duds, or do they come back and set shit straight? And now you're like, okay, this is the team I'm used to. Josh Allen, 4 touchdown passes. All right, we're ready to go. James Cook ran for 150 yards. Boom, we're ready to go. Defense comes up with a last minute pick or a fumble recovery. We're ready to go. So once we get there, we'll get there. So we'll just have to kind of just play it ear by ear. But it's how you bounce back. It's always been that way in sports in general. It's how you bounce back at the end of the day. You screw up somewhere, it's how you bounce back. You're a student, a college student, a high school student. You had a horrible test. All right, next midterm or next test you got to do, study, bounce back, see how you do. And that's it. You screwed up with your wife. She told you, I want you in bed right now. How do you bounce back? How do you bounce back? How is Z-Bot going to bounce back when his wife is mad at him? That's how it's going to come down to.
Not good. Not good right now. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you where I'm going to bounce. Where I need to bounce back is over on Sleeper, Rico, where I was this close once again. How
close were you?
I was close. So I got it done out in LA. But I didn't get it done tonight. And you want to know what? It was one area that I thought, man, how could I not go with it? It was James Cook touchdown. And where am I at here? Right here.
That's a given. You'd think that he would have got one.
He had 8 straight touchdowns going into tonight, and we didn't get it done tonight.
That's tough.
So we have to bounce back. We will bounce back this week. As always, make sure to get in on Sleeper Picks with us. We'll be making picks throughout the week. Link is in the description below. Click that. Download the app. Once you sign up, use the promo code BF25. That'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper's terms of use for details. And of course, check out Sleeper via the link in the description below today. Super close, but I did nail one, Rico, last week, and we will get back on the right track this week, as hopefully the Bills will next week, a week from currently now today, Monday Night Football on the road against the Falcons.
I need to say one thing before I leave. I love how your tone has now dropped a little bit because I think everybody's gone to bed. So now you're trying to wind down. I love it. It is 3:00 in the morning for me. Why my black ass up is still up doing this is because I love y'all, and these primetime games are killing me. But we do it for y'all, and I appreciate y'all because you guys have been tuning on. We got 2,600 people watching right now. We got just shy of 500 on YouTube, and we got another 1,500 watching on Twitter and Twitch. So much love to you all. It has been great, but now we must call it a night. Right before we call it a night, though, my guy Alexander says, "Thank you, Rico and Bot. This show was very cathartic." I like that. You don't see that people use cathartic often. I feel like we really needed it. Honestly, sometimes I used to say this when I used to do this. I don't know about you, Bot. These things were therapeutic for me. I used to do these live shows for me, selfishly. And then it turned into this because I always needed somewhere to vent. I had nowhere to vent. Chat rooms were just not enough for me. I didn't want to sit here and type and all this crap. I need to vent, get it out there. And then when I realized there were some people that were like-minded and they needed this moment to talk about it and talk about the very same things that we saw and things that you may have not noticed, and then you could discuss it. And then we have Monday's show with my man Z-Bot, and then we're back at it again on Tuesday. Then we get to see a lot more information come out, and then we go from there, folks. And then we go from there. Anyway, that's it for us.
That's it. It is absolute therapy, and we appreciate everybody attending this therapy session. Hope to see you for another therapy session tomorrow evening, as Rico mentioned, on the smoke break. Another one on Tuesday. Then we'll take this one, put it in the rear view, and move on to Atlanta. But for now, Rico, I think that's all we got. 212 in the books, and it's unfortunate. Well over 2,600 of you rocking with us super late after the Bills' first loss of the season.
Hit that like before you get out of here, because you know what the like does. The likes pushes us out to everybody else. All Pats fans are going to be looking for this stream. You know they will.
I'm sure.
You know they will, and they're going to be clipping and doing this. And look at these guys crying about this. Okay, we'll see you back in December, and then we'll talk about that. Anyway, that's it. That's it for us. And if you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't hit the notification bell, hit that notification bell. That way you know when we go live, and you're always set and you never forget anything. But that's it for us, guys.
That's it. Much love. Try to get some sleep. See you tomorrow. Go Bills.